Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stone's Live Poker. I am Jake Rosensteel here with Justin Karitis, and tonight we got 510.
Yeah, it's huge, and the lineup is insane.
It looks like a mess.
So I'm actually blocking the door. I'm gonna do my best to keep you from running out of the booth and trying to jump in the game, because I know this is a game you would like to be in.
It looks like a really good game. Player we haven't seen in a while, TD's back.
Yes.
TD, I love him. Harlan's already stacking fools.
He did. He got. I thought he was gonna kick Peter out of the game, so unfortunately we didn't get to see the hand. But the very first hand they played when we sat the game at 5:30 tonight, I see Peter walking out the door. I'm like, where the hell's Peter going? So Peter's coming back with a vengeance. He got a massage, he reloaded, he's back in the game. I think we're gonna see some exciting matchups between those two. There's a lot of good potential in this game tonight, and like you said earlier, as long as the cards cooperate.
As long as the deck works out with us, we should have an absolute smash up of a game.
Blood.
We
should have some blood.
Rick and Barstow, Fat Train, Bill Perkins, all the regs in the chat. TankX87, what's going on, guys?
We appreciate the early birds. That's how you tell who the real followers of Stone's Live are. If you're here to watch the opening commercial and hear Veronica talk about inside Stone's Gambling Hall.
Yeah. Wambride's got some problems. Yeah, those are the people that we know that are real degens. I mean, when you're addicted to live stream intro commercials, I mean that's a sickness. You
guys
cure,
have my
right?
heart. You have my heart. I've always loved the people with the sickness.
These are the people that we end up prop betting when another table wins the rack attack, and we'll start prop betting on we'll pick a horse from the other table. We're not even involved. We just start smashing
I love it.
that stuff
I absolutely love it.
Sly Cry, what's going on?
Let's head down to the table and let's see who we have playing down here. Seat 1 is not currently there, but that's is our
Peter,
man on fire tonight.
Peter had to go get more
Peter.
chips.
Yep. So he's reloading, and it looks like we got the chips down there on the table. Peter is a regular to the stream. Awesome player, rock solid, has plenty of gears. He always mixes it up and makes the game interesting. Excited to have Peter back. Seat 2, another kind of becoming semi-regular to the stream. We got Kathy there. Look at that hat. I love the hat.
I was gonna wear the same hat.
You were? You guys should have. It's a Kentucky Derby thing. I know you're into that.
Derby girls.
Derby girls, yeah.
I love it.
I've heard. I've only heard.
That's a word on the street.
So Kathy's here. Kathy also a big no limit player. Likes to play the bigger games and also tournaments. She uses tournaments. Seat 3.
TD.
Jake's favorite.
Happy birthday, everyone. TD's got more gears than an 18-wheeler. Well, I don't know what else you say about TD. I mean, the guy's a pressure cooker.
Fearless.
At the same time, he will make some pretty big folds that I think most players in the room are not capable of making.
He's fresh off the professional Baccarat circuit, too. So let's see if he could shift his mind back to poker.
Smash and grab.
Get some things going. Seat 4, another in-house favorite.
Favorite treasure troll, Sasha.
Now, he told me earlier tonight he does not like to have his picture taken. I had to double check with him. You realize that this is going to be on video and on the internet for anyone to watch.
Don't.
So he's got his hood.
Blow his mind.
He's got the hood. He's got the glasses. It's the classic poker look.
Super Sasha 5000.
All right, the one, the only, the legend in Sacramento.
Mailman.
Eric the Mailman.
E.T. Mailman.
That's
Eric.
E.T. right there. That's the one to watch out for. He is the one that is going to have the whole table figured out. and he's going to know exactly the
Or
right moment
if
to strike.
if you're Val and he's just in your head, and he just gets there every time. He always has, always gets there. He gets away with stuff he shouldn't, and he really does. He crawls inside your brain a little bit.
So this is like you go down the line, seat 4, 5, and 6, and you got like the circle of sharks right here, right? That just lined up, waiting, because that's Matt in seat 6, and he's no joke either. That's a mathematical brain, Matt H.
Hey, he's a guppy. Matt, we love Matt. Veronica knows that I love Matt. Matt H, what else can't you say about him? We're gonna let you know that really crappy hat, but what are you gonna do? I don't know. Matt and I can go back and forth on football for days.
Another fun player, semi-regular to the stream, and also multi-time guest on Veronica and Friends. Harlan.
I love it. Harlan's rocking his alma mater, the Utah Utes. Harlan was a college quarterback. He's
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it really?
He seems like that really athletic type of outgoing sports guy.
Trouser browser.
Jock.
Whatever.
He got nothing I want.
Brian. Why is Brian always in seat 8?
It's funny too because Brian actually took a moment tonight to switch to seat 4, and then he saw Harlan sit in 7, and he's like, "No, this is not going to work."
Operation never mind.
He jumped back over. But it's like you look at the players that really know what they're doing. They always want to be on the left of the player that they think is the craziest or the loosest. And really, there's nowhere on this table that you can be where you're not to the left of a player that is going to give action.
Competent or crazy. We want to have position on all those players.
Right. And it's a circle. You technically have position on everyone.
Chips always move clockwise.
Last seat. This is a brand newcomer to the stream, a friend of Veronica's crush, Zach. That's Ben from San Francisco. We don't know anything about him yet, but we're about to learn. So
he's friends with Zach. I mean, now that goes one of two ways. I mean, sometimes like really good poker players like Zach, will stay in like close little tight knit groups with other really good poker players.
Yeah.
Other times we have friends that we keep in our games. So
I wonder which one he is.
Like we're friends, Justin.
What are you trying to say?
You're my shark.
But you know what? I've never been invited to your game.
That's because you're like crush your sharks.
What?
I can't even.
That's fine. I'll be the first to admit there's a reason I'm in the suit and not on the table. That being said, I think we got a ham brewing here.
Action.
This one's wrapping up. We should get our graphics up in just a moment, and it's time to get into this game. I got so excited I knocked a bunch of stuff down, so I'll be right back.
Awkward.
There we go. Okay.
Sly, Cry, Pratt, and Cal suited aces. I walked right up on the table. I was like looking at the lineup as when I walked in the room. I'm like, okay, we got this. All right, this should be a pretty good game. I walked right up to Kathy, and Kathy and I played a lot of poker together. And I looked right at her. I'm like, hey, Kate. And like everyone's table was like Kathy. I'm like,
No.
God damn it.
Just trust me, women totally love being called the wrong name. It's like their thing.
They're into it.
Yeah, it gets them really turned on.
So yeah. So I'm already in the doghouse. The game didn't even start, and I'm already in trouble.
If you notice that every time that Kathy makes a play, full, check, raise, whatever, chicks be like, wow, she's really amazing. What a great player.
She's the best.
I can't believe it. Okay, well, we have our first hand shaping up here, and looks like TD comes in for 10. Now, this is 5-10, no limit hold'em, so the blinds are $5, $10. But after that, it's up to every chip you have in front of you if you want. It is a table match game, which means at any point someone goes over the $5,000 maximum buy-in, someone else could just buy right up to that stack. Kind of cool.
For stacks.
Yeah.
And right now our stacks range anywhere from $1,500, $1,600 all the way up to $4K, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, about a little over $4K. It's a good game.
All right, so it looks like we're, according to our graphics, 5 ways to a flop. So we're seeing 5-way action here, and let's see what's coming up now. Pocket 4s. We lost our flop. Pocket 4s miss.
Jack 6-8, couple of hearts. There's straight draws, flush draws on board. TD's got the only pair that I can see so far. It checked through the turn, another 6 peels off.
Board pairs.
Can't see Harlan's cards. TD's gonna lead out at it with his 4s. Now here's the thing about TD. So like, with the spot where we have pocket 4s, it's impossible for us to get value from worse hands. So in pocket 3s, deuces are never calling us here. We can get value from straight draws, flush draws. But TD, it's kind of part of the setting when he's betting 4s here, staying balanced, where he's gonna, when everyone's showing us, his pass on the flop, TD's gonna look to take down a lot of pots on the turn and just kind of fire out, regardless. So even though, at this point, he really doesn't care what his hand is so much, where he's just trying to hey, if he's gonna be doing that same thing with his value hands,
so
he's gonna be doing it with his junk.
The players at the table know that. So if they hit a hand, are they waiting for the turn to have him bet into them?
They're not on those levels.
No?
We would like to think that.
All right.
But I'm just like, cameras can crazy. I love it.
That's our
some
new
players
mobile
might.
camera. So what we do is we have Bob stand up there, and he just turns the camera however we want it as the game's playing. Instead of buying a mobile thing, we just put Bob up there. Sorry, go ahead.
Angry Pollock in the chat, and she's already been deleted. She already got kicked out of the chat.
What?
Wow, the wine is. I didn't even see what she said.
Okay, so you know she's playing a trick on you, right?
Maybe, hopefully.
Like, because she's a mod, she can't be deleted. She's
Bob,
typing.
man.
She's typing message deleted in brackets.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's her new trick.
Live fish.
She got you.
God damn it.
You got him. Good job.
Bob can delete her. Kathy with kings.
Did you want to see if Bob will?
Bob.
Hey Bob, can we kick Veronica out of the chat room? Let's see what we can hook up here.
So it's an open to 40, and Kathy's putting in a 3-bet out of the blind to 110 with kings.
Wow, look at this. Is Ben gonna come along?
He's got position.
Okay.
And here we go.
Oh!
Ben has flopped the nut diamond draw. There also is an ace out there to Kathy's kings.
Wow. They
Once
check.
Once Kathy checks here,
That is a great flop for Ben, and he might not even know how good because Kathy's scared at this point with an ace on the board and kings. He's got the draw, and I mean, look at him with 68%, but she's got 68%, and he still could take this away. Oh, she's not going
but if
anywhere,
I'm Kathy, I'm not folding just yet.
Chips on 11, please.
The problem here is when we check call here, we've kind of polarized ourselves, and we're either like, we have like aces, jacks, or we're playing pot control, which we know Kathy is, and there's just more 3-betting hands that she's going to have. There's more combos, queens, kings, tens. Well, now 10 comes off.
Okay, if Ben bets again,
that she would check call with.
does that wrap it up?
Aces and jacks.
Can he
Ben
rep an
bets-
ace?
He can keep barreling here now. He picks up an inside straight draw as well. The problem is when Kathy 3-bets and then check calls here, she's going to have kings, queens, but then now those are kind of the only hands that Ben can really try to get her off. Jacks, tens, got there. She can still have, top set, middle set.
You can see Ben's thinking this through. He really was just trying to figure out what his move is here.
We're getting some chatter from the chat saying that the turn is 7 hearts, not the 10 hearts, and that is true. So the board pairs.
Wow.
Okay, now another ace comes off, and that's good for Kathy. Now it's much less likely for Ben to have an ace, and she's actually going to put out a little blocker bet, it looks like. She reaches for chips.
See, I think Ben made a mistake by not betting the turn. I think if he fires a sizable bet on the turn, that he actually could have taken the pot down there.
If he was going to take it away, it would have been on the turn. And actually, even from Kathy, she puts out the little blocker bet. She bets 260. She feels that she has the best hand there. But I think you actually can be more profitable at check calling, keeping bluffs in your opponent's range. I mean, you can go either way. If you think your opponent, we know he's not ever going to fold an ace. Is he going to call him 3-bet pot with just a jack there? Do you really think he opened the button and then called the defender 3-bet with king jack, or a hand like that? Or he's also had a king jack, she's holding 2 of the kings. So with a hand like queen jack or queens, is he just going to call off with queens right there? I think you're more. If he's got bluffs, we're like after check call. That's it because he checked back the turn. He should have some sort of value in his range. So the leads there. It's not the worst thing in the world. I don't know.
I feel like statistically, an ace is more likely to flop if you have pocket kings than any other hand.
Just stop.
Hey, but
You're trying to make my brain explode.
look at what happened to Kate.
Let's be real. She made money. That's having the cake. Kings. Kathy.
Yes, I know.
Damn it. God.
But you're so easy tonight.
That's what they say every time.
That's why Veronica likes you. All right.
Toronto Davis makes a point that if he called King Deuce White, can he have Queen Jack, King Jack? Well, one, it's harder for him to have King Jack because Kathy's got 2 of the kings. So if you're from Kathy's perspective trying to get value from a Jack, it's hard for him to have King Jack. So then you're looking at Queen Jack, and is he really calling those kind of hands? It's not that he can't; it's that he's just less likely to. Maybe, probably.
What a great setup, though, with the ace on the board, 2 diamonds.
The turn you could barrel, but you're really trying to play blunt force strong there. We got a raise of 35 from Sasha here with a couple black 5s.
All right.
It's going to get called from Harlan with the 8-9 off. And we got Brian in there with a Jack-9 off as well. Ben's got 7s. He's back in the pot. And we got multi-way action here.
So apparently Veronica's comment in the chat room was legit, and Bob did actually have to delete it because she was trying to voice a text. Now I'm really curious to know what it was.
Oh, it's so good.
How do we find that out?
So good. So it's 6-way action.
Oh, the ace comes out and no one's holding it. Everyone completely whiffs this, so Ben in the lead with his 7s right now.
Peter's got 2 overs and a gut shot. He's got 10 outs to make his hand, or to make the best hand, versus Ben. Although on that board, with this many players in the pot, no one's going to get splatted here.
Oh, turn card Ben nails it. Oh, I thought it was a 7.
It is a 7.
Oh, I think our graphics are off. It looked like a
Graphics off.
7.
The turn is a 7. I believe it's a 7 of clubs, and we see Ben here betting his 7s full. He's hoping someone's playing, playing pot control with an ace, or maybe going to look to check raise. Unfortunately, he's going to get no love.
Yeah.
Bill Perkins.
Yeah, that was the old switch-a-loo. I got all excited thinking it was a 7, and then it was a 5, but it is a 7, right?
Correct, Mundo.
So Ben's going to take it down right there.
Plastica.
All right,
Welcome.
Nice. Plastic, it's been a while. So a couple good warm-up hands. Little mixing it up. The players are getting comfortable. And as you see in these types of games, especially the bigger games, it's much easier to get a 1-3 or 2-5, 5-5, like to get action-packed. The 5-10 is a little scarier, bigger limits. The players got to get comfortable. It's kind of like that show, The Real World. Do you remember that? Was people forgot the cameras are on and then they started being real. That's kind of like like an hour in, they start being real.
I really love to pretend that I don't know what you're talking about, but I do.
I love how, as I'm giving this example, Jake's just looking at me, judging me. I can see the judgment in your eyes.
Yeah, no, but
remember Puck? Puck was my favorite. I love Puck.
I didn't know what that is.
Second season Puck, San Francisco.
I wasn't that into it. I know the show, but I wasn't I don't know characters. No.
I bet you everyone in the chat room knows Puck.
What's happening now?
All right, type 1 in the chat if you remember Puck from the real world.
So we got a raise to 40 from Harlan to King 5. He's called by Brian and Ben with suited spades. Suited connectors in spades, I should clarify. Deuce 3 Queen, open-ended straight draw, backdoor flush draw. No backdoor flush. Yeah, yes, backdoor flush draw. I'll get this hand right. For Brian. Air balls for everyone else.
Well, Brian's going to go ahead and bet it out.
It's a pretty dry board. Once Harlan doesn't see bet there, it's going to bet the entire time. Are we getting clarification from Veronica?
Yeah. Okay, so I actually no longer want to know what Veronica said now that I know what she actually said. Jesus.
Holy wow!
I'm sorry, I wish we could share this with you guys. We love our loyal viewers, but you're just gonna have to trust us on this one. You don't want to know.
You want to know. Oh, this is getting screenshotted and put
bad.
on Twitter.
Hey, look at all the ones. They remember Puck. Everyone remembers Pucks. Look, Puck, he got spit in the face. He's a nasty guy, or he did the spitting. They remember something about him spitting.
It's a poker show, Justin. It's a poker show.
We love Puck. Bring back Puck. Hey, what if I get Puck in the game?
Then we can talk about it.
Okay, then we can talk about him. I'm on it. All right, we got hand shaping up here, pre-flop
Ben
action.
makes a 35 here with the ace-10. Sasha's going to defend with a couple 5s out of the small blind. Eric's out of there. Heads up to the pot, to the flop.
That's a classic matchup. 5-5, ace-10. Pocket pair and 2 overs. Ace-5 misses, so the 5's still in the lead, but not a happy board for 5s.
That board's better for Sasha's range than it is for Ben's. Ben's going to c-bet anyway. And Sasha can go a couple ways here. He's at least going to call. And we're having some turn card graphical errors here. I'm not sure what's going on. The turn said that the 5 spades came off. We know it's not. We know it's a king of spades. There we go. King of spades. Now that's a good card for Ben to double barrel. He knows it. And there it is. And this should be the end of the hand. Even if Ben were just c-betting a hand like king, queen, ace, king, king, jack, something like that on the flop just to c-bet and try to take the pot down, he now would have made the best hand. And that's why Sasha's calling the 5, because like I said, this 9-7-4 is better for his range defending the small blind than it is for Ben's opening range plus 3.
Well, Ben's bet's going to win it here. And
As it should.
Ben's scooping up this pot.
Easy game. We print money this way. When we see bet 9 high boards and we're the original aggressor, we want big cards on the turn to double barrel. When we miss, of course. We just don't want to get check raised. Then the opponent's like, the villain's like value city.
Sasha's capable of that.
Sasha is capable of turning his 5s into a bluff there. But I don't think he needs to. Tank X87 says folding pre is GTO. It's like when I first got into poker. I was talking to a friend of you, and you talk about the evolution of like how players learn poker. And so like first they play poker and they play way too many hands, and then they read a couple books, do a couple training or some online coaching, whatever like that, and they learn poker to some degree, and then they play way too tight. And then they kind of get this gear like, okay, well now they think they understand poker and they think they can outplay everyone, so then they start playing way too many hands again. And it's kind of like on that 4th or 5th cycle around, you kind of find that balance back and forth, find that happy medium of when to bluff, when to value bet, and they find the kind of balance of how many hands to play.
Where are you right now?
I'm Swing City. So
really all over.
Well, I'm here, but we don't know if I'm here relative, here to here. If I'm here relative to here to here.
All the best players always talk about how fishy they are. I have noticed that.
How fishy? Who is? Me?
They are. When they're talking about themselves, and they're good, but they're like, oh, I'm just a fish. Like this is Veronica says every time we do the Veronica and Friends game. I'm such a fish. I'm the worst player in the game, and she was racking out $5,000. I'm on to you guys. I know what you guys are up to.
Ace, Queen, 7, 2 diamonds. Ben's got an ace.
Damn, Ben is just getting hit in the face with the deck here.
Matt's not going to bother with the 9s. Sasha, who bets 50 here. Ace of diamonds. Complicated card, and it should go check most of the time. It's hard for Sasha to double barrel that card specifically because now it's harder for him to have an ace. He's only repping diamonds or an ace, and there's just not as many combinations of those hands that he can have here. Now they can have it, of course. It's harder to keep barreling here. If he is, he's trying to get Ben off of a queen, which would be an ambitious check call out of position on the flop.
I'm not sure that I like Ben's check here when he hits the 3rd ace with 3 diamonds on the board. I mean, I feel like from the pre-flop action, I feel like it should be somewhat clear that he's in good shape. When he hits the 3rd ace, I understand he doesn't have a kicker.
So what are our worst hands that are calling? If you're Ben, I mean, if we feel that we have the best hand, and if we lead, what worst hands are going to call us? Where are we getting our value from?
Well, there's not really many worse aces, so you're not getting that. But
exactly,
maybe,
and diamonds are calling, so that we don't. Which
don't you just want to take the pot down right there?
You're trying to make my head explode. I swear to God, Justin, this is a 3-hour stream. I'm gonna need another Red Bull.
I think we can make that happen.
King of Spades on the river. Ben checks his trip aces. And if I'm Sasha here, I'm probably just shutting it down. Everything got there. Everything is there. But you know what? Sometimes blunt force trauma works. And there it is. There's 445 in the pot, and Sasha looks like he bets 3 1/4, or no, 2 1/4.
And a snap.
And
call.
a snap.
Yeah. But I mean, he would have had to go a much more sizable bet to get Ben off of trip aces. Unless the diamond rolls off on the river, then it's a different story.
It is different. I mean, Sasha there on that board is.
I mean, what do you think about that bet from Sasha?
I don't like it.
He's trying to make it look valuey, right?
You're repping such a small. I mean, yeah. I mean, the sizing's good. I mean, if you're bluffing there with 445 in pot, betting 2 1/4. I mean, it's. I like the sizing, but the way the hand played out on that board. I mean, he's repping such a narrow range. I mean, he's like only boats, and it's really hard to make a really strong hand. You're repping such a small range here. I mean, a really small, strong range, but at some point,
ace or a bigger ace.
money we don't lose is the same as money we win, and there's nothing wrong with just shutting it down sometimes. If the ship has sailed and the pot is lost, Life happens. We get over it. We move on to the next hand.
Not me. I hold it in forever and let it build up and build
let
up.
It fester.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah, that's how I do it.
stewing with hate.
I think that's better.
Yeah. And we
In the
start
long run.
bending like our blind
Then
against
just one day you just blow up at the
we
table.
don't
How
want
could
chips.
you call me with that?
We want those chips back.
Well, yeah, and I will actually tell somebody to set them aside for me because I'm coming for them. All right, no one's connecting with this board, but Eric is going to take a stab at it, and not much to go with here from Harlan. Probably going to be enough to take down a small pot. Is he going to show? Yeah, he's going to show. Haha, I got you. That's
And here's the
advertising.
part where Val is like watching this, and he's like, see, that's what I'm talking about, man. He always gets away with it. He always does it.
Where is Val? Is she in there?
No, she's in Vegas.
Vegas or Florida?
Same thing.
All right.
Somewhere outside of California, barreling some.
Yeah,
some juicy
everywhere
news,
outside
sure.
of California is the same thing.
Val somewhere playing 4-card poker, barreling some nut blockers. That's gonna like be on like her epitaph, like on her grave. That'll be like, you know, I had the nut blocker. You know, what was I gonna do? Not bet? Not check pot? Wabright, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I love it. As we celebrate the time that the Europeans came over and raped and pillaged our country. Nothing.
Wow. What did I get into tonight?
Never mind. So we got an open to 35 for Peter with Ace King. Sasha's gonna make the call. Can't see his cards yet. Matt, Harlan, Brian. Brian's gonna make the call. Uh, 10, 9, 8. And with this many players in here, Harlan flopped. Did Harlan flop the bottom end of the straight?
You know,
Or did Harlan flop the show? And he's going to lead right out at it. So
percentage just caught up. Yeah, Harlan's got the small end of the straight, but Brian's hit top pair. There could be some trouble brewing here.
So I actually don't mind this donk bet here by Harlan. On a board like that, when this many players, it's going to get checked through so often that you're probably going to you're probably losing value by not betting here, because even the original aggressor is not going to be c-betting that board. I mean, in 5-way action, if you're even sitting there with 2 aces, I mean, even though there are a lot of 1-pair straight draw combos you can get value from, with that many players, there's also a lot of 2 pairs. I mean, there's a lot of hands that have a lot of equity against you don't necessarily want to be playing a huge pot against. So I actually like Harlan's lead here with 145 with the bottom end of the straight. Now there's a card that's going to shut it down.
Oh yeah.
Brian made the call with top pair and an inside straight draw, and he fills it immediately on the turn. Sasha's in the hand as well. We still don't know what his cards are, but now Harlan's got trouble.
No wonder Brian loves seat 8 so much.
He's the best. And if I'm Harlan, we took going into shutdown. Harlan does check it, and Brian comes out swinging.
Now Harlan still has a straight jack high, but he can't be too happy about it at this point.
I'm seeing there's one of the hands that we're talking about where you can't get value from 1-pair straight draw combos. That's what Sasha has. Now Sasha turns 2-pair. He can chop with a queen. A 7's still
Wow.
dirty for him.
Did he raise? Oh, he just called. Okay. 190 to go, and it's back to Harlan. It's going to be really difficult for Harlan to continue at this point.
I don't mind a fold here. Just a cold fold. Hey.
He's not. Looks like he's stacking up some chips.
The problem is that he's getting laid over 5-1 here.
At least he's getting laid.
It's too easy. I'll just like lay him up and you can just like, got him. Bam.
Out of the park.
We love it.
All right, and he did. He popped it back up to 435, and we get an all-in
Did
for
Brian
Brian,
check
which
raise? Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
it made a well. Brian let out.
No, I'm sorry. Did Harlan check raise?
Yeah, Harlan check raised. Brian
Stuff
pops
said.
it up. Sasha's out of there, and this is a laydown now for Harlan. There's no way he can think he's good.
Hi-ya.
Yeah. He didn't call, right? Yeah, that's a throwaway.
No, he dumped it.
Great split screen there. Awesome hand. Both players make a straight. Brian's is just one better, and he's going to scoop a pot here. So Harlan checks. Brian bets. Sasha calls. Harlan raises, and Brian just stuffs it.
Hey, yeah.
Pretty crazy.
No, looks like Harlan called.
Harlan called.
Harlan called. They're counting off. Harlan called.
I was under the assumption he was just going to lay it down there. I didn't think he could. I think
Jesus
he
Christ.
could get it through, but he must have put Ryan on just a pair or two pair, something like that. What do you think? I can see you're in shock.
I'm in shock.
Chips on 11, please.
It's one thing if you're heads up, where your opponent can, on that board, let's say if you're in heads up, your opponent, if you check that card, you have to bet. I don't care what if you're floating, it's the best card to bluff. You should have a lot of value hands in your range as well. If you just call the flop, you have to bet that card. So if your heads up, your opponent's still can have, especially if your opponent's a competent and aggressive opponent like Ryan is, your opponent's still going to have enough bluffs in his range where I think you can check call. I would never check raise with the idiot into the straight, as we call it. It's kind of a suicide play by Harlan. But in a multi-way pot, the key that was the key there. It's Brian led that card into multiple opponents, and then Sasha called. And so that's why, like, when you have the bottom end, we never want to be over calling there. It's almost like Harlan's like turning his hand into a bluff. But we're never getting a queen to fold. So we're just setting money on fire.
It's not a good idea.
It's not optimal, but it can be fun.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So
right.
TD makes it 35 to go here with the King Jack. Harlan on the steam pipe makes it 85 to go with the Ace 8, and we love it. Houston, I've lost audio. It's this one usually.
Well, we don't really need the audio, do we? They're not talking a lot.
Trevando days, I'm with you. Like, calling's thin, raising's nuts, but this game's nuts. So nothing Harlan can do to catch up here. Hopefully, he doesn't spew off here because TD's made the nut. Harlan's hand cannot catch up on the turn. TD has the check mark. The 4 is Brick City. I think this is a tilt play with Harlan. Probably not too happy about that last hand. No, this was a 3-bet pop pre-flop. And Harlan did call the turn, so Harlan should be strong here. TD leads out big, which I like that. Now, Bill Perkins makes a point, like, he thinks we might be being a little bit results-oriented, where we call him a genius if C8 doesn't have a queen. I disagree. Because if we check raise there, we get all those worse hands. So let's say we're still ahead. What happened here?
I have no idea what's happening in this room.
What is going on? Oops.
I thought maybe it was your ringtone was just random people laughing or something.
Well, no, like I said, so if I still don't like the check raise, even if like C8 doesn't have a queen, in this case Brian. When we check raise there, we run off all those hands. So let's say we can still get value from 2 pair hands, like what Sasha had. You check raise, and those hands, we lose those hands. So I still don't like the check raise.
So I just want to point out that Puck has joined us in the chat room.
Has he?
Yeah, hey Puck, how's it going? We were just talking about you. That's him.
That's Puck 66.
Let's ask him. Puck 66, are you the Puck from the real world, San Francisco?
Puck 66 is always in our chat.
Yeah,
You quit being like hope. You're like the eternal optimist. Like you got a gut shot.
I just know we were talking about Puck earlier, and now there's a Puck in the chat room, and I think it's the Puck from the real world.
You got a gut shot and a backdoor 1 pair draw, and you're just like spewing, like, oh my god, it's him.
I'm gonna ask the 8-ball.
Jesus Christ, this is happening right now. So TD bet 65 here with the Ace Jack on the 9-5 deuce. Sasha, pair of 5s, makes a call. Brian on the button. Don't know what he's got yet, but looks like he's going to make a call as well. Seven comes off, and Sasha picks up an inside straight draw to go along with his now flush draw.
They're confirming.
No straight draw.
They're confirming in the chat room. That is him. That's Puck from the real world.
It's a club.
Look, the internet doesn't lie.
So the graphic's showing that the 10 of hearts come off the turn. We know it's not. It's a 7 of clubs.
Yeah, it's a black card for sure.
The river card is not the 7 of clubs. I don't know. We're still having some graphical errors with the turn here. I don't know what's up. The turn is the 7 of clubs. Make no mistake. So it checks over to Brian on the button, who bets 150, it looks like. Sasha check calls with his pair and flush draw. Deuce. And what's the worst hand we feel that Brian can be betting here? King 9, Ace 9, Queen 9.
Looking at the pre-flop action, trying to figure it out.
Brian checks back and looks like Sasha's pair of 5 is good. So we gotta figure Brian there has got busted spades, maybe 7, 8, 6, 7 for the inside straight draw that never got there. No, because then 7 would be good. No, so he's gotta have like 6, 8 or busted spades. JKH, welcome to the chat. CMill916.
C-Mill, he was here Monday.
Yes, he was.
Good to have you on the stream, C-Mill. It's fun watching you play, bud.
That last 1-3 VAF game with Bart in it, that game was nuts.
Yeah.
Was it not?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that game.
What I love about that, you know, the game was good when players were on the list for that game to jump out of the 5-10 to get into the 1-3.
Yes.
Yeah, and that Brian jumped in that game, came out of my seats open the 1-3 guys, leaves the 5-10 to go play 1-3 because the 1-3 game was that much
I saw
better.
a few people get out of the 5-10 to get in that one.
And everyone on the 5-10 was on the list.
I mean, and when your 1-3 game has 4,000 chip stacks,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yes. It's a very good game. Brian's got queens here in the cutoff. So Sasha opens up the action. You're undergun +1, 9-10 suited. I love that. Looks like he gets a call from Harlan. Now Brian is going to put in a little 3-bet here, and it's not a big 3-bet. Trying to see, it looks like he made it like right around 100. No, it makes it 130. Okay, so a decent sized 3-bet there. It makes it 130 to go with the queens. Sasha folds. He's out of position. If he's in position, he might think about getting frisky there. Angry Pollock's out of point, and then we all went, and then everyone went for karaoke. That is true.
Yeah, I know.
So we get out of this. We get done streaming the game, and then of course the game keeps going. So I start drinking wine, and then Bart and I start drinking beer, and then we Ubered to Auschwitz and ended up like doing karaoke somewhere, and then we're doing whiskey with Whiskey Chasers, and it was a good night.
You remember it?
I mean, that's what Snapchat's for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like Pixar didn't happen. It's like Kick Rocks. I got video. I sang Pearl Jam.
I wish I was there now.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Alive.
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 One of the two. Had to be one of the two.
That's gotta be right. You can't sing Black though. Like if you sing Black, like it's like you're just trying too hard. No one wants to get all emotional like in a karaoke bar. Eric makes it 35 to go here with Ace Jack. Harlan makes a call with a 9-6 of clubs. Brian's in the hand as well, Queen 9 off, because we talk about setting money on fire sometimes. It's kind of cool. It's kind of fun, you know. Like why not? I mean, I got these $35 to get rid of.
Is Peter eating a salad? I just want to point out, Peter is eating a salad.
Ben picks up a couple 10s in the cutoff, and he makes it 135 to go.
Wow. 10s versus Queen 9.
And we just print money.
Nope.
Ship it.
All right. Another easy pot for Ben. Boom, boom, boom.
Here's there's a good point of how off the chain that night was. Bart walked from the bar because we don't drive drunk. Bart walked 5 miles back to his hotel that night.
You know, there's this app called Uber. Have you heard of it?
It's hard to like human when you were doing whiskey with Whiskey Chasers.
Yeah, I could see that.
Two-Face Man 69. Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, JKH15 has been a little bit passive, but like we were mentioning earlier, usually the first hour of this game is the players kind of getting comfortable. This is a bigger limit. I think especially with some of the action players we have at the table, you are going to see it open up.
See, Angry Pollock says that his phone was dead and it wasn't functioning. Sometimes when you have too much to drink, your phone can't function properly.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the phone's
The
fault.
phone, yeah.
Had to be the phone.
Peter makes it 55 to go, ace 10 of hearts. Kathy's going to call on the button with the queen 10, or I'm sorry, queen 8 suited. Harlan is in there as well, 4 tray off. Jack, Jack 3. Harlan's got the only pair. Wonderful disaster. Checks to Kathy, he's going to check through. Kathy now turns the best hand.
Peter picks up his flush draw, though. There might be a little life.
Harlan's got issues. I love it. Harlan should be check calling here, or check folding even, I feel, on that board. Harlan's going to go ahead and lead out 50. Peter and Kathy make the call. 9-baller. Kathy's pair 8's the best here.
All right.
That board is a little bit too connected. I mean, if Harlan were to bet here, he might be able to take the pot down. But that board is too coordinated for us to bet here against multiple opponents. He's going to check it. We'll check through, and Kathy will pick up the pot. Master C, what's up, baby?
Hey, isn't he supposed to be here in the booth with us?
If he brings beer, you can be in the booth. That's the thing.
He made a little guest spot, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
During the Veronica game?
Yeah, during that train wreck Veronica
The train
game.
wreck
Speaking
game.
of that game.
We should change it to the train wreck game. It's Veronica and hostages.
Ship it to Master Kathy. I love it. I'm just gonna call her Kate all night.
Yeah, why not? You already started down that road. You might as well.
How far down the rabbit hole must we go? So an open here to 35. It looks like from Harlan with the ace queen off.
Did you call a dude baby?
Yeah, but yeah.
Me?
No.
Oh.
No, you're not my baby.
Who?
Master C's my baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He brings me beer. He's my baby.
So, mental note. Don't bring Jake beer.
Or bring Jake beer. So it's open at 35 from Harlan. Brian makes a call. Hey, did Ben get involved with the 5 tray off? No, he folded. Kathy's in the pot, and it looks like TD. Tell me TD 3-bet the button with you 10-8. Tell me TD 3-bet the button.
Let's
Yes.
look at it. Yeah.
TD.
10-8, 3-bet to 180 now. Put the pressure on. Harlan, where's he going? Nowhere.
He's gonna call.
Ace Queen just calls. Now we're around to Brian with 9-8.
So here's the thing. TD, we know from watching these games, is capable of 3-betting here super wide, and he is. But he also is going to do the same thing with his nutted hands as well. So Harlan, I don't mind him calling the ace queen. We don't need folding just yet.
3 spades on the board, and Harlan has the only spade. TD doesn't connect either, so this will be interesting to see how it plays out. He's not letting up. Harlan checks. TD sticks in about, what was that, 300 or 400?
Looks like 3 and change. I don't know,
265. Now Harlan, I think he has to call here and see at least one more card, right? Or what?
We don't. So the hard part here is we're out of position. So if we think a spade's good for us, the hard part is going to be if we check call here and another spade comes off, are we getting paid? We really got our opponents really got to have a hand almost like specifically only like top set here for us to get paid if a spade rolls off on the turn. Spade on the turn.
Okay. As promised here. We're just giving away flushes at Stones Live tonight.
So the awkward spot would have been, I mean, you can check raise, but if your opponent's got an overpair with a spade in as well, you know, kings or aces with the spade, harder for him to have aces because Harlan has an ace.
Well, I think one thing's for sure, and that's that Harlan is not getting any more chips out of TD in this pot.
Now, against a tight player, I'm more inclined to check call. Against TD,
You'd be betting?
well, no, I'm sorry, I flip that. Against a tighter player, I'd be more inclined to lead. Against TD, I'd be more inclined to check to him and let him hang himself. TD is creative and aggressive enough to try to steal this pot, even after checking back the turn.
I don't know about with the way that it's played out. I'm not sure he would, but with what Harlan just did there, I think that's the end of it. There's no way TD puts any more chips in this pot.
TD can bluff here. if TD had aces, ace king, ace queen, he with the spade, if he was nutted, he probably would check back that turn, and then he would raise river. So I mean, once again, he's only repping the nut here if he raises.
He's thinking it through. But here's the other thing. TD knows about Harlan too, and I think he understands he can't get Harlan off of anything if Harlan actually has something here.
There's something to be said about that. We saw Harlan check raise with the bottom range of the straight on a 4-card board earlier. So is he likely to fold many spades here?
TD is thinking, so this isn't just a snap decision for him. The one thing I hope he doesn't do is just call. Don't just call. If you're going to do anything, raise. And it's got to be a big raise. Oh God, there goes the split screen. I see Veronica's probably getting all hot right now.
The problem is it's a 3-bet pot that Harlan check called Jack 6-4 all spades. Here's the thing, so if you think that Harlan might have just called the 2 overs and a spade like the hand that he has, the spades got there, so we're not beating anything here.
Yeah.
TD's trying to find a way that
he calls.
My God, I don't know, I don't like it.
Just a call.
TD's trying to find a way that a 10 is somehow good in this pot. We can't beat a jack. If Harlan was turning a jack into a bluff, we can't beat a jack. If we think that Harlan's light here, we should be raising.
I'm actually kind of shocked at just the call there. I think he has to fold, he has to raise.
Fold or raise.
Yeah. And the raise would have to be sizable. It would have to be big and scary. But even, I don't think you can make a raise big enough in that pot to get Harlan off that hand no matter what.
But we can see his hand. So
Right,
okay, so let's pretend that we can't see, we're TD spot and we can't see Harlan's hand. So we don't know. So exactly, where we think he might be turning a pair. We think he might be turning a pair of jacks into a bluff. There, which another reason why we should never be calling. We should never be flatting.
Right.
Right. But if that's the case, then we should be raising. We think Harlan's then we should be raising. As that played out, I think he's gonna have more, one spades in his hand than anything, and I think we just fold. It's a razor fold. I think we fold most of the time. The raise would have been super sexy.
Slycry says that he thinks that TD was calling for information because he doesn't know Harlan that well, but I think these two have played together before. I think they know each other's tendencies.
So sometimes there'll be weird spots where you get in his hands and maybe, let's say, you pick up, or you think you might have picked up on something. Let's say a live read, something like that, or maybe a sizing tell, something like that, where sometimes we might feel like we're calling off bad. You'll hear players say that, oh, I just want to see it, or I need to know, or something like that.
Yeah.
I prefer if you're actually calling just for information to not say that you're doing that, but there's something to maybe consider where maybe TD either thought he picked up something, whether he said a live read, size and tell, something like that, and just needed to confirm it. And if you're okay, I can give away 2 and change right now, but over the course of the next 10 games with this guy, that might be worth $2,000.
So this hand wraps up really quick, Jake. We got Brian picked up kings and ace flops. He bet out, scooped the pot.
Because it's an ace magnet.
I wasn't gonna say it because I know you give me that judgy look, but every time I get kings and ace flops.
You should start check raising.
I'm getting the business from Veronica right now. She doesn't want me messing with you.
She's gonna climb to the top of the water tower to defend my office. Just leave, Jake.
Stop making his head explode.
All right, next hand coming out. So Kathy, they got him a straddle here, right? Yeah, so Brian straddles for 20, it looks like. Kathy makes it 80 to go with the jack 10 off. Harlan makes a call out of the big blind, suited ace, ace 10. Brian's got 2 quad draws. And a better decision to fold the 6 Dewey. Jake, Ron, what's going on?
We got Harlan and Kathy going to the flop, and Harlan is way out front here. 2 spades. No one connects, but Harlan with the monster draw.
King 6-7. Kathy's gonna c-bet for 80 again. I don't like the sizing, but I don't like most things. Harlan calls. Another king on the turn.
And you can see Brian there in seat 8. Where were those last hand? All right,
Deuce.
pair it up. No one makes a pair. Deuce is on the board. Harlan's ace is best. It's gonna check through, and all Harlan has to do is flip his cards up, and he wins.
Slow roll.
That is a slow roll, isn't it?
I think Harlan was just shocked to see Kathy that light. I think part of it is like, wait, should she really just show me Jack 10 off here?
Yeah, someone in the chat room said first time tonight that she's raised pre. But it's only been a few hands anyways. We've only been at this for about 50 minutes now.
I'm watching this table play, like suddenly I want to eat a salad. I don't know why.
I know, I was thinking the same thing. Salad sounds really good.
And then our eyes locked, and we said, I want to eat a salad.
Now I'm uncomfortable.
Now. You were okay with everything before?
No, I had a moment where I thought you called me baby too, and I was happy to find out it was Master C. Or Mustat, whatever. You guys got all these nicknames in here. I'm just an amateur now. You guys been doing this for a year. You're all pros and getting all this.
We use those terms
experience.
really, you know.
Well, when you say pro, referring to Veronica, it's a different thing. But for you, I'm talking about poker commentating.
So we got action here.
All right.
So TD makes it 55 to go with a couple black jacks. Catherine, did someone fold the 4-3 of hearts?
Really? I would have played it.
I swear to God, whoever folded the 4-3 hearts is dead to me.
Hey, Kathy's getting involved in some pots and mixing it up now too. 6-6 deuce on the board, misses everyone. TD's in the lead with jacks and has position in the hand.
Lorson, this is a salad Twitch stream that just happens to poker in the background. TDC bets the 6-6 do, he takes pot down.
I mean, I don't know any other forum where salad becomes dirty. Except prison. How is salad dirty? They're eating salad.
Hit the brakes, brother.
I just don't understand. Someone explain to me.
Stop.
It's just a
Make
salad.
it don't.
It's just a salad.
Make it don't.
You're no fun, Jake. You know that?
I'm a nit. I'm a commentary nit. You know, it's like I'm just like tight aggressive. That's it.
Not with Veronica. You're
lagging.
not with Veronica.
You got to keep up with Veronica though. She's like on a whole other gear. It's just like when you're playing the table and someone's playing like hyper laggy. You can't just sit back and like rock and roll for like aces or kings. You got to like pick it up a little bit.
Okay.
You got to up your game. And Veronica is going to force you outside of that whole comfort zone and make you up your commentary game.
I see.
And by up your game, I mean swan dive off a cliff. So TD makes it 55 here to go with a couple sevens. Kat's got to today. She's make the call. Brian's in the pot as well with a queen jack offer.
Oh, man.
6-5 deuce. And TD's got the rare overpair with sevens. Kathy's got an inside straight draw. I think it's straight with a 4.
No, TD is never checking. I don't mean here. I mean never.
Yeah, it's like,
He's never ever checking.
So,
But the last few times, I mean, they've been great positions to actually bet out. He's gotten some great boards here. So easy pot for TD. He's gonna scoop it up.
so once again, like I said, against those opponents, no, actually, I take that back. Against Kathy, we're never expecting to get calls here. Kathy's not playing much 6-5 deuce. But Brian, we've seen Brian play a lot of those little cards. A lot like Harlan, he plays a lot of that low bottom end junk. So TD can actually expect Brian to check call there pretty frequently, I feel.
I'm getting lost in the chat room vortex. Brett M. Call says, I feel like I need a parent present when Veronica's doing commentary. The next one, who needs booze when you have salads?
That's good.
Sly Cry makes a good point. Kathy is opening up her game a little bit, and that's what I was trying to tell you guys earlier. This game, it's a big limit. The first hour, it's everyone kind of getting comfortable with it. Now, it's like Puck in the real world. He sees the cameras are off. It's gonna go crazy now. They've eaten their salads. They're ready to play some poker.
It's like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, like what do bullets taste like? Like, I'm just wondering, like. Kathy makes it 30 to go with a couple red jacks. Sasha makes a call, ace queen, Matt's in the hand, pocket fives. Brian sets money on fire with the ace tray off, and away we go. 6-9-4-9-6-4, as Val would insist that I read that board off. A couple of clubs. Harlan's got top pair with a pretty good kicker, but he's still second best to Kathy's jacks.
Is it always, she always wants it red, highest card to lowest card?
Yeah, always.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
What do bullets taste like?
Oh my
So
god.
to see that for 110, Harlan makes a call.
Keep it up, guys.
It's a pretty good card for Harlan. He's got to feel that a pair of nines here are going to be good a pretty high percentage of the time. Now, when Kathy fires twice here, she's only repping overpairs, which she has.
Yeah.
She could double barrel, clubs. But I just don't think Harlan believes in folding. It's against his religion. You can't break pots if you fold.
What is that religion?
He believes in check, call, lead. Like, I don't know.
I like it.
Harlan makes a call. Clubs get there. Now Harlan, if she bets again, Harlan has to fold. Because the only card is she's barreling, she's ripping over pairs. She could have barreled the turn with clubs, and now clubs got there.
Oh.
She makes a good bet here.
Yeah.
She says, "Come hither, come hither." And Harlan's like, "Well, she's telling me to come on. I mean, like, what am I gonna do? Fold?"
I mean, Harlan likes his hand here too. The club on the river might save him some money here, but I don't think the way this
It
is played
should
out
save
that
a
he's
little bit of money.
putting her on a
So
flush
here's
draw
the thing.
anyways.
Here's the interesting thing here. The bet's really small. Harlan might think that he can get her off here. I'd be more inclined. Stop. Stop. Stop.
Well, he didn't. Kathy wins.
Ship it to Kathy.
Okay, look. I just want to point out, Sly Cry in the chat room, he makes I'm sorry, it was a JKH15 makes a great point, and for all of our joking around and everything, it's actually a really good point. Walking by, if you want to look at the meta game of salads, he says that salads are a sign of a tough game. Booze is a sign of a good loose game. So, and they make a point. You can really just see things like at the table, there's no booze. Where's the booze?
Yeah,
if there was booze, and this would be crazy.
It's like the night of the election, like when I was trying to find soft games, I just listened for the cheering. Follow the cheering, and there's people with the soft shells, and there's the easy game.
Half our viewers just dropped out.
Da-da-da-da.
Maybe we should send drinks over to the table.
Yeah, drinks. Sure.
Go ahead.
What?
Is it Wine Wednesday? It's Wine Wednesday. They have no excuse.
These guys are playing 5-10. They're all nits. Except for TD. He's a super beast.
One Super Beast and Nidius. Where's Nidius knit from Netville?
He's playing tight in the chat box.
It is. It's super business tonight, but things can change in a moment. We've seen that. We've seen these games that are solid, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, they just blow up. Yeah. I mean, now that they've eaten their salad, maybe they get some booze next. All right, back to the game. All right, we got TD hit an ace, Kathy with the 5, and TD's in position. He's gonna make a little C bet here, and Kathy comes along.
Deuce.
Yes.
Kathy picks up an inside straight draw to go along with a pair of 5s. TD still bets her with his ace. And he's still gonna go for value.
All right. Okay.
TD bets 140. If we check call here and Kathy, we got to be very confident
I think she's
that he's going to pay off if a 3 comes.
Hey, look, Kathy grabbed the 140, 145, and then she went back. She went back and she grabbed a couple white chips, like she's gonna raise, and then she set them down and folded. So she had like 3 different thoughts running through it. Do I call? Do I raise? Do I fold?
Yes.
She went through the
really
whole
yes,
spectrum.
and then ultimately no.
No, then super yes.
And then, yeah, no, this is the best decision, obviously.
So she makes a good decision there, but really processed it and thought about all of her options.
A table shooter is like a round of straddles. Everyone is disadvantaged equally. I like it. I concur.
They should do it. Hey, it's super easy. If you want to get into this game, just type !join in the chat room. You'll get the information to send me a text, hit me up on Twitter or email. Anyone can come play in this game. We are located in the beautiful and luxurious Citrus Heights, California. It's one of the most glamorous cities in Northern California. We're right here at Stone's Gambling Hall, right off of Antelope and 80. Super easy to see right from the freeway.
Beautiful card room.
And yeah, a great place to be. Great action in this card room. Jake quit his job and come make a living here.
To find living. So we got a raise to 55 from Harlan with 10-8 off. Brian makes a call with a suited ace. Ben, he's in the hand out of the cutoff with Jack 10 offer. Sasha, who had straddled.
Puck from the real world joins us in the chat room. What's up, Puck? Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. All right, go ahead. Do your poker thing.
Oh my god. Sasha defends as a straddle with the King 6 suited. And King 10.
Oh, wow. Man, Harlan is in here with the worst of it. Fortunately, it should be something pretty easy for him to get away from, but Sasha's going to get tricky here and check.
And Harlan, who's getting value from Queen Jack-ish only, bet 75 anyway. Ben makes a call. Ben should have the best hand here very frequently. He's got position.
Except when King 6 has come along.
I like a check raise here from Sasha. Keeps bluffs in his range. If he overcalls here, he's like always got a king. He's always got a king, he's always got queen jack, he's always got clubs. I mean, and there's enough hands here that you can do a lot of things with on the turn, but I think raising against this cast of characters might just get their creative juices flowing, because they might think like, oh, okay, why would he raise? Why would he raise that much if he actually had a king? He can once can get value from clubs, he can get value from queen jack. He can't get value from worst king as well. Let's face it, who's playing king 5 these days? There's also a certain frequency in which Sasha might merge his range here and kind of do this with like a weird 10, like a hand like 10-8 or 10-7, where you might be able to get a better 10 to fold, and still be able to get value from worse hands. You know, talk about queen jack, talk about clubs. I think he'd be more likely to do that in position than out of position, and when you check raises here.
And that's it. Looks like Sasha's going to take it down with his
I didn't mind the check raise.
trip kings. I think it's the way to play it.
I think it's fine. Total. Oh, came on. Welcome.
So if you are joining us for the first time, we want to remind you there's a little heart icon on the screen. If you like what you see and you love to watch live poker action, just click that heart and we'll let you know every time we're going live. Usually our schedule's pretty easy, Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time, or as Justin Kelly likes to say, Specific Standard Time. And also we do some of our bigger tournaments and special events, so for those you'll really want to follow us, because the final table we never know when they're going to hit, but we will let you know when we're starting them up. All right, so getting back to the action on this hand here.
It would seem like we are going for a round of straddles here, which I love.
Nice. I'm glad they finally did that. Time to get the game out of the muck.
5, 10, 20, and Brian's going to make it 55 to go here with a 9, 10 off. It's gonna get through. Oh, Eric shows. Easy game. Juan Price says he might come through on Saturday, play the Saturday 10K.
I'll be here. That'll be my my 17th straight day. I'm excited about it. I'm ready. Ready to go. Let's go. Let's go.
It's like you're like improperly like milking a cow. It's like really awkward there. Like you just don't like. I don't know.
I've never milked a cow before.
Likewise. Likewise.
Yeah.
Me either. No. What's
No,
happening?
you
here?
have?
No, I have.
Oh, okay.
So we should get marginal amount of action here. King's on the button for TD. Is that even fair? And we saw TD 3-bet really wide earlier.
Okay. Ace coming. Just watch. Look, it's statistically proven if you have pocket kings, an ace is more likely to come.
Especially when two players have ace-8. And
It's coming.
it's not.
This is what just blow Jake's mind right here. Boom. Ace. Oh, next. On the turn. On the turn.
Queen 7-3. Kings are still way out in front here. Matt H had called. Defended the straddle of the sixes, I should say.
Now, Matt's really good at figuring out what's going on here, but also it's got to work a little in TD's favor. You know that Matt knows TD is a little crazy and aggressive. So Matt's more likely to see a couple extra cards here because TD could have anything. It could be pocket kings. It could
Could be 10-8. Could
10-8,
be
yeah,
ace.
whatever.
4.
But this time it's pocket kings.
So it was a 10 of clubs that rolled off on the turn. There's 295 in the pot, and it looks like TD's gonna bet. The graphic, sorry, we're still playing graphic catch-up. Looks like he bet like 230, 240-ish on the turn. So here's the thing, okay, you're Matt here, you're check calling sixes here. There's going to be some frequency where we feel like on Queen 7-3, sixes are still in the lead here. Against a really passive or a player who plays the first two streaks really fast and then goes shuts it down on the turn and plays really face up after that, I think check calling sixes is more profitable against that type of opponent. Against TD, who you know is going to double. I mean, we have no good turn cards other than a 6 if we're Matt, right? So when check call pocket sixes, the only good turns we have are sixes. I mean, you can pick up, an 8 or a 5 for, backdoor straight possibility. But there really are not a lot of good cards. Well, even them can pick up a straight. And,
What about an ace?
but then we're turning our hand into a bluff. We're not. If that's the case, if we're going to turn our hand into a bluff, let's just check raise the flop and then lead the turn. So we know that TD's gonna double barrel a lot of turn cards because he can be not just because he's because a type player can only rep a small range. When they 3-bet, a good player or a really aggressive player like TD can rep a much wider range because he 3-bets really wide. So when you check all sixes there, I don't like it because we're gonna get blown off on the turn so much. Because TD's never just like shutting down because that's against his religion.
Check this out. We got 3 pocket pairs lining up here.
I fix it.
Jacks, 9s, and 8s going in. And looks like we have a raise coming from the 9s. Up to 35. Peter's called with 8s, and now it's back around to... we're back on Ben now. 125 to call. Matt 3-bet to 160 with Jacks. So Ben has a decision here to make if he wants to set mine with 9s.
How deep are we? What are we? So it's 125
He's
call.
at 2.4K. He's gonna let it go, and so now it's back around to Peter to see if Peter wants to play pocket 8s, and he is. He's gonna come along. So we got a heads-up match here: Jacks versus 8s, and probably gonna get a 9. That's it. Jacks are still out in the lead. Matt's in good shape. And according to our graphics, if they're correct, Matt has the check mark. Now, this is kind of a cool thing because we use RFID sensors in the cards. So the reason it's showing the check mark is because the running 8s aren't possible. One of the 8s has been folded and the sensor has detected that. So on the flop here, Peter is drawing dead.
Running straights are possible as well somehow.
It looks like it, yeah. How can
Well, I
you
know
make
two
it
nines were.
straight?
I know 2 9s were folded.
You can't make it straight.
You can't make straight, yeah. Peter's mulling it through. There wasn't a 7 on the flop? No. I know it shows 10-3. It is 10-3 deuce? I don't know.
We actually, yeah, we got a good point in the chat room, Trebendo Days. I think I said that wrong, but he said we don't need running 8s. He just needed 1 8. But yes, what we're saying is if our graphics are showing that he had the check mark already, no straights possible, no running flushes possible, it's because the 8s were gone. Both 8s were folded. Or problem with the graphics. Could be that too. It happens.
Steelers 5-4-3-2-1. Not loving the Dolphins. I'm a Steelers fan myself, and the Dolphins did put a hurting on us early in the year. Which Matt, as soon as he found out I was a Steelers fan, he's took great pride in reminding me of from time to time. They're playing Fleetwood Mac in the background.
I think it's a live band.
Yeah.
Because Stone's got it going on, guys. We got poker, we got blackjack, baccarat, live music, half-price bottles of wine. Jake's buying drinks.
Usually. Another pair of kings here. Sasha this time with him.
Ace coming.
So Sasha min raises here. If the graphics are correct. It is a straddled pot. Brian straddled, wakes up with the queen 7 and will defend versus the clickback. Heads up. And there's a queen for Brian.
Brian's just going to lead out. Wow. No fear.
Boo. No, it's check. Brian check raises Sasha.
What did Sasha put in?
Sasha
50?
bet 50, and now Brian comes back to the top of it for 150,
Wow.
155. It's raised to 1 1/4, so now he makes 75 more. We can't fold. We know we're never folding for Sasha. And there's a re-raise.
350 total.
He feels that Brian might be doing this with a straight draw or flush draw, and he can get value from those hands, but those hands aren't going to fold just yet either.
It says right back at you.
Another 2 1/4 to call. There's already 570 in the pot. Unfortunately for Sasha, Brian's got one of the hands that he would check raise and that she can fold right now. Maurice or Marcus, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. 90. Yeah, I am surprised that Brian check raise there. I mean, I feel like we're kind of turning our hand into a bluff. It's not kind of. We're definitely turning our hand into a bluff for check raising the queen 7 there.
Cool me down. Welcome to the chat room. Hey, we get this all the time. People watch the game on the stream and they're like, I could totally kill this game. These guys are horrible players. And to that, we say the same thing every time. The game's open. Come on out. I'm going to type the information. Just get in there. Text us. We'll get you in the game and you can show us your skills. Show us how good you are. We'd love to have you.
So Steelers 5-4-3-2-1. This is like a flat call or king king position. I think flatting's fine there when it versus a check raise, and we never. It sucks if we re-raise here as Sasha did, and then the villain dumps it right back over the top on us. Then we have to fold our king, which sucks. Because then if he check raises and then dumps over the back over the top when we 3-bet, he should be all over us every time. So then we have to fold king. So that does suck. On the other side of it, where Sasha I think was going the hand is there's a lot of straight draws, or there's straight draws, flush draws that he can get value out of still. And with that price and that sizing, those hands aren't going to fold. He's hoping in that spot, and if he thinks Brian's just doing that with just a queen, then Sasha would not be check raising. Sasha had to do that because he thought Brian was check raising with a draw and would not fold.
I did not see the dealer change. That happened like instantaneously.
Paul's Super Ninja.
Yeah. I think that happened in the middle of the hand. It was Joel, and then it was like, here comes the turn, flashes back, it's Paul.
Wonderful. So Brian makes it 90 to go. Harlan and Ben are in the pot as well. 3-way action, 7-5-3, 2 spades. No one has a pair.
No cooperation from the deck there. Oh, now this really just comes down to who is willing to get aggressive. Not Ben, not Brian. We're going to see a turn card.
6 comes off, gives Harlan an inside straight draw to the super nut. So Steelers 5-4-31 makes a great point over on that previous hand. Sasha had the king of clubs in his hand, so you're blocking the straight draw flush draw combo. And so when you get 2 red kings, the raise would be much better because then it's more likely to your opponent to have a straight draw and or flush draw. But with the king of clubs in our hand, we're now blocking our opponent's bluffs. And so yeah, no, I like it. So yeah, good point. Probably maybe flatting might be more optimal. Harlan bets out the 10 high. 2 overs and an inside straight draw. We can't miss, right?
Yeah.
We just barrel.
Harlan's such a beast. Hey guys, if you're new to the stream, this is Stones Live Poker from Stones Gambling Hall. There's a little heart icon. If you click that, you'll follow us. And for every follow we get tonight, we're going to save a tree. So it's a good cause. Please make sure, check out our stream. We're here every Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time. New hand coming out here. We got a fun lineup here in this 5-10 no limit Texas Hold'em game. Always kind of like to see like where the people watching are from. So if you guys don't mind,
That's not creepy at all.
just stick the city you're watching from in the chat room. Kind of curious. Were you guys anyone outside of the U.S.? Anyone from Canada, Mexico, Iraq, anywhere? Where are you guys watching us from tonight? Let us know. We'd love to hear.
TD makes it 35 to go with a king queen off, under the gun +2. Brian and Ben come along out of the blinds, and king queen 4 top 2 for TD.
Just this deck just loves TD.
And we check back. Good. No, we don't.
Someone's watching from my mom's house.
Angry Polacks in Iraq.
I knew it. I knew she would be in Iraq. I tell you one thing, as a tournament director, that you hear every night, and it's funny every time. Every single time it's
Lay on
funny.
me.
When you tell people that their chips need to be in Iraq to move them, and they go, my chips have to be all the way in Iraq. Yeah, it's
They really
hilarious.
say that?
Oh, it's hilarious. No, I love it.
God, tournament players are fishy.
No, it's Iraq. It does sound like Iraq.
No, I know, I get it. I thought I told bad jokes.
You do.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Okay, back to poker. TD makes it 60 to go with ace queen. It is a straddle still, I believe. Brian's gonna come along with a 5 deuce off on the button. And Kathy makes a call. King Trey. 10-6 deuce rainbow. Brian actually has the best of it with his deuces. Brett calls it the Atlantis and Vino. I love it. Super degen. 7 of clubs on the turn.
Bill Bergens is in Uranus. I mean, on. What the hell?
The company you keep.
Thanks for dressing up, by the way. What the hell?
You're welcome. Eight on the river, and that board's getting pretty coordinated.
The deuce is good if it can hang in there. Yeah, TD checks.
TD
so.
should be going into shutdown here.
That's a wrap.
Now, Brian might feel he might need to turn his hand into a bluff. The problem is, our opponent's not folding much here if he has any kind of value. No, I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing assless chaps.
Angry Pollock, I think we need to find a different bad joke for you if you want me to set you up, because that one is just, it's a little overplayed. Just like...
I'm sorry, I started to try to tune you out. What? Just like it hits someone with a baseball bat.
Oh, it's setting one up for you.
Oh,
Knock it out. Overplayed. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, next hand. Also, we are accepting applications for new commentators.
Hello.
All right, Harlan's going to open this one up, it looks like. Queen, Jack offsuit. Brian has pocket deuces, but right behind him is Ben with jacks. So we're going to see some action on this hand. Now, Ben pumped it up, it looked like to 135 maybe. Yeah, 3-bet to 135. And there you see our graphics actually let you know when it's a 3-bet or a 4-bet. It's kind of cool. And also you might notice that when we get to the later betting rounds, the turn in the river, that you can also see the previous action that's occurred. All right, so we are 3 ways on this flop. Harlan, he's going to check it. And
10-7-6.
Ben with the best hand with pocket jacks and overpair to the board. But looks like Brian's thinking about nothing. All right, it's check to Ben, and Ben's going to stick some chips in there. 300 or 400. It's kind of bright over in that corner of the table, huh?
He looks 180. I like the sizing.
It's probably going to do it. All right.
Check H15. Yeah, it should be. I think 180 is fine.
I like 350. I'm going to go with the chat room. See if we can make Jake's head explode.
Cool me down. We are running on a 25-minute delay, so the game, we're doing live commentary over the game on the delay.
Yeah, guys, we're seeing the game at the same time as you are, but the game is 25 minutes old. That's why sometimes if I'm out there doing something on the table and then I'm in here and then 25 minutes later you'll see me here and there at the same time, I'm not a magician. It's just technology. I think I would be a good magician though.
I think, yeah, you'd have some semblance of like presence. I mean,
Yeah, like a David Blaine type of character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Service on 11.
Brian makes it 45 to go, ace king. Kathy's gonna flat the ace queen out of the small blind. Sasha will not play the queen 5 suited. Suited, are you wondering? 7-7-5. Rick. K1 DDZO, not a magician.
Thank you, Dash Braxton. How do you delete people from the chat room again?
They wouldn't let me go. I mean, that's how
Okay,
Veronica's still in the chat.
Just click on their name like this and just...
So Kathy check calls the 7-7-5 with the ace queen. 8 comes off. Brian double barrels. Root Faith, what's going on? Love the chat.
Yeah. They're on fire tonight.
Is it still a living room if someone died in it? Hashtag deep shit, man.
Mr. Jingles, welcome to the chat room. We have 17 tables at Stones in our poker room and another 17 tables in our California gaming section. That's like Baccarat, Blackjack, 3-card poker, Pai Gow, the dark
it's
side.
the dark side.
It's
Don't
the
worry
dark
about it.
side.
You don't need to be over there.
We're the light side. We're the good guys
Bad
here.
things happen.
Just poker.
Yeah, over there. Now, when someone meanders from the dark side over to the light side, over to the poker room, and then we draw them into the game, yes. Players that play on the dark side today, they've all got problems. They got barreling problems. So we want them in the games. So we invite players from over there over here, but we try to discourage our players over here from going over there.
But isn't that how you get even? If you get stuck in poker, you can go get even?
Just ask Veronica.
All right, heads up to this flop, and Brian S. flopping a diamond draw. Not just any diamond draw, but the nut diamond draw. We got Sasha in there with king, queen. Not much to work with for him. Probably Brian's pot here. Sasha checks. Brian's going to stick in about 80.
Easy game. you're the worst. God, what do you do with these guys? Puck 66. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, Puck. Action on Kathy here. She's got a clunky 7 in the cutoff. She's gonna open up the pot.
I like that term, clunky 7. Did you just make that up?
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
that's the kind of things I do.
Might catch on, like suitored.
Suitered.
I like suitored too.
Drink.
It's a good one.
Harlan will defend the straddle. And both players flop a piece here. 7-6-4, 2 clubs. Harlan's gonna lead the 6. Easy call for Kathy, top. Top 2 for Kathy. Life only gets better. And Harlan should shut it down. He does, he checks. Kathy bets 55, Harlan check calls. Club. All right,
Scary
Harlan,
card.
if you're gonna do it, this is the card to do.
Checked already. Check.
Jeez.
Now, why is Kathy checking there? Should she be checking, in your opinion?
So I would definitely be evaluating.
Because of the club?
She's
Is that
checking
why
back.
she checked?
Yeah, she's checking back because of the club. The 3-5 straight draw got there. The clubs got there. I would still be evaluating them.
Is she waiting for the absolute nuts?
I think she might be thinking, okay, well, what's he really going to call me with? Kind of thing like that. Give a player the opportunity to make a mistake. I think we're kind of free rolling there. I think we can check there, and players so rarely check raise bluff river that we can value bet small. We want to be betting on the smaller side there. Normally we'd be bombing the pot there. And anytime we get just called, we should be good like 100% of the time. And if we get check raised, we gotta feel very confident that our opponent's like never bluffing, and we can confidently fold. But the times that we don't bet there, I think we feel like we're losing value. We should bet.
I think
We can't
that
just
would have been good there.
nuts happen. I mean, that's gonna happen. Flushes get there, and Harlan is capable of, if he had a flush, could check raise. If he had the 35, he might check raise. But Harlan might also have a lot of worse 2-pair hands. He might hero off a 6. So Peter, he makes it 90 to go with jacks. Harlan defends the big with the queen jack off. 9-5-3, 2 hearts. Peter way out in front with the jacks. Now the 9-5-3 should miss Peter's opening range a huge percentage of the time. As you know, he does have an overpair. Harlan is not going to get Q.
So one thing, if you guys are like used to watching like broadcast poker where they actually edit down to just the action hands, it can kind of give you a skewed idea of what poker's really like. One of the things that I really
Tournament poker, same thing.
yeah, same.
where
So you're just seeing key hands, you're just seeing people that are making big plays and stuff like that. So it looks like, to the novice, it looks like you should be in the action and something should be going crazy every hand. What I like about this stream is
I'm not always at the table though.
you're seeing you're seeing a real game, and I think that's the cool thing about stream poker is there's no edits, it's live. This is how poker games sometimes are. Sometimes they're crazy, sometimes they have these lulls, and sometimes it's just like bet fold, and this is how it is.
Ebbs and flows,
You're seeing real poker here, which I think is pretty cool.
So Eric makes it 60 to go with the 10s. JKH15 says the river bluff raising is the most feared but least used play in Mid-Stakes poker. I think that's absolutely true. So Eric raises the 10s there, takes it down, and once again, if Val was, she would say he somehow got away with something there. Like she's in his head, or he's in her head.
That's Val's nemesis.
She's damaged goods, She sees, mailman at the table, and she's just like, he's gonna get there, or it's already there, and I just don't want to even.
If you like what you see here, you can go check out our YouTube channel too. Just look up Stone's Gambling Hall on YouTube. We archive all of our shows, and you can go back to the very beginning before Jake and Veronica, before we stopped them from drinking, and those are some really entertaining shows. So you can see everything. It's all there. It's all archived.
And if you liked that more, you can petition Justin Caritas here and let him know that, let's give, I'm just saying, like, I was in the booth here with Chris Moneymaker.
That's not
And he was having a great time.
He was having a good time.
And he was.
Moneymaker was fun.
He was a whole bottle of wine beat.
He was drinking it right out of the bottle.
So here we go. Matt's going to get this game out of the muck. He's going to make it 180 to go with a Queen 8 offer.
Didn't you just love that hand between Kelly and Bart Hansen? The 5-bet hand?
With the 5-bet bluff.
The Queen 8 and the 8-5?
It's wonderful.
It was
Wonderful.
just great, wasn't it?
I really love. So I have that, and the 4-bet by Bart with the 8-5. I love actually more. I mean, yeah, the 5-bet with a queen 9 or
Queen 8. Yeah.
I think that's a little bit. I mean, it's awesome. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, she's 5-bet queen high. But it's a little bit ambitious. The 4-betting the 8-5 actually thinks a little bit more. I don't know, not standard.
Well, I talked to Bart about it later, and I believe him when he says like 95% of the time that's gonna seal the deal right there. But Kelly had some sort of sick read on him right there or something, where she's just like, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
What could Bart do there? A 6-bet?
Rip it.
All right, we got a flop. It's all hearts. Kathy also has hearts, so she flops the flush. And when you see that little icon next to Harlan's hand, it says less than 1% to win the hand. That's not good news. He can only chop it at this point. Basically, he's got to get 2 bigger hearts than 7-8 on the board, and not the 9-10 of hearts. Or I guess 9-10 would be fine. What do I know?
Cool me down. Getting old sucks. It happens.
I have to say, cool me down. He started off cool, and then like the last few comments have been all insults. And I was supposed to say, like, why all the hate? Like,
no, I love it.
We're nice. We're cool guys. I think your hair looks great.
Anyhow,
I think it's fantastic.
Anyhow,
Jake's a. Go ahead.
That's how you know that you're those people are your friends. I mean, you can't give your friends shit. I mean, the moment that I'm not like giving you a hard time about Puck from the real world comments, that's when you know that I don't like you. When I'm ignoring you, that's when I don't like you.
Okay, you know what though? In all fairness, going back to Puck,
God damn.
He logged into the damn chat room, okay, and said hello.
I'm gonna ignore you now.
That was the real Puck.
Now I don't like you.
All right, Kathy scoops it up just like we knew she would.
Rude Faith says, yeah, you don't have many opportunities to 6-bet. That's true, and there's a lot of games, like Bart talks about, down in SoCal where he plays, like 100 big blind cap games. You're just never deep enough to oftentimes, 4-bet bluff, let alone without jamming.
But they were that night.
5-bet bluff. That was one of the rare spots. They were deep enough for Bart. They were deep enough for Bart could actually 6-bet, which is gross to think about.
What if he did? Can she call? I mean, clearly she can. She 5-bet him.
No, never. Yeah.
Never?
Never.
Wow.
But it's just one of those things. It's nice. It's nice when you can play, deeper games where 4-bet bluffing and 5-bet bluffing is actually an option, like without like 5-bet like shoving, like bluff shoving.
Well, and you see that like ace king versus queen in a tournament, and you'll see that bet raise all in, and I was kind of waiting in that hand to see if something like that was going to happen, if it's just going to be back and forth, just shove. But with 8-5 and queen 8, like, how are you going to see it? How do you even get to the 5-bet? You know what I mean? Because
Kelly's got problems, that's why. And that's why we love her.
Beast mode.
So Jack 9-5, Harlan is going to fire out with his 3s. I'm sorry, no, it says Sasha bet 60. It looks like Harlan bet. I believe it's 60 to call from Sasha with his pair of 9s. He does make the call. 10 comes off. Sasha's now open-ended to go along with his pair. Harlan still nothing but
he's John
pair.
Slam. Needs a 3 and nothing else. Root Faith. I think I'm saying his name right. Root Faith. He's saying, and I'm going to confirm this with you because you used to play a lot online, but he's saying 5-bet's pretty common online. Not in a live game, but online, that it's not out of the ordinary.
Online games play much more aggressively, and now interesting comment about that. I mean, like your standard like online games are like 100 big blind cap games.
Mm-hmm.
When I was playing, oftentimes we would play 200 big cap tables, but nothing to play table stakes. So it's still harder to get that deep,
right?
With the common opponent across the board. You can't. Those games happen where the game kept running. But it's much more common to see someone 4-bet jam than 4-bet bluff. I mean, it would and still be have chips back. Is what I'm saying. And yeah, online usually bet smaller. What's a 6-bet? It's something that never happens in poker. We'll put it that way. Check river.
Sasha with the best hand. Pair of 9's going to take this one down. Scooping about a $500 pot. And we're moving on to the next one here.
Yeah, Ruben, I get what you're saying. Yeah, usually by 5 bets. Usually, by that time, we're usually jamming. It's like I said, it's just so rare and it's hard to get to be that deep where we're 4-betting or 5-betting, and not just getting it all in. I mean, you know, we 4-bet, 5-bet bluff, but it's usually by that time where you're getting all the money it's getting in. You're doing it. You're ripping the stack.
Did we already do the round of straddles?
We might do another round. Why not?
They didn't do one.
Harlan's online Gus Hansen. I love it. Online requires balancing, live does not. I would tend to agree. I mean, nothing against live players, but I think most people that play poker would agree that online players tend to be a step or 2 or 20 ahead of live players. And so, because you're playing against other online players, you have to think about things like balancing your range.
Harlan hits his 10 here on this flop, and Eric might have a little something to work with an inside straight draw with his Queen Jack. Peter not going to mess around with this one. So we're heads up now, and Harlan has bet out 100 with the best hand, gets a call. That's a paired board on the turn.
Check.
That's it, check. Harlan with the check mark, and Eric's gonna fire at this board.
And Harlan should never be folding.
Yeah, it's just a call though. It's got to be just a call. Harlan kind of slammed his chips like he wasn't happy with it though.
Now, Harlan looks at it. He's dumped off a little bit here. Maybe it's in his head a little bit. Like, God, am I running this bad? Am I somehow? Thank you, Harlan. Harlan makes a call.
It was kind of like a begrudged call.
Right?
It was like, take
I
it.
just hate it.
Take it, but he knew he had to. And good thing he did. He was posturing like he was going to fold there.
Yeah, he was.
To me, it looked like he was like
Harlan was not in love with it.
When you always see when it seems like most of the time when a player picks up their cards, like, you know, like looks back, they kind of lean back and look at them.
Yeah.
The next move is like this, right? Throw them away.
Yeah, it's true.
And he did that. He did that posturing, and then he even kind of slid his chips in with his cards, like the folding motion.
He was ready to
Yeah.
go to hand. The thing about it is that when you're Harlan and you're checking back top pair on the turn, you've got to be prepared to call most river bets, because part of when you check back, part of your plan there should be to induce some percentage, of the time, and to be inducing river bluffs. And especially when the 4 diamonds comes off, which is just a real, brick city card, we can't be folding Jack 10 on 10-8-8 4x, 10-8-8 4-6 or whatever it was. We just can't check back the turn and fold to river bets. We're losing money if we ever do that.
Matt jumped into this pot with Queen 3 and connects. He's the only player connects with the board. He's going to go ahead and bet it out and take it down. Queen 3 for the win. Nice.
Ship it.
Hey, for anyone joining us for the first time, we appreciate you being here. This is Stones Live Poker. We broadcast here every Monday and Wednesday night, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There's a little heart on your screen. If you take a moment to click that heart, you can follow us and get alerts every time we go live, however you want them. Email, text message. We'll send Jake to your house, knock on your door, let you know Stones Live's coming on. Tune in. You stay pretty busy with that.
Yeah, gotta get around the neighborhood. So we saw Matt 3-bet pre with what? So it was a 10-8 or Queen 8. Now we just saw him barrel the Queen 3. Players complain about going card dead. My answer to that is pretend to have better cards. Look at Matt H. Just if you're you're not picking aces and kings, pretend to have better cards.
WTF RFID cards. Thanks, Obama. Guys, in the chat room, we love you. Keep it up. Thank you.
JKH15 balancing is not really required against good live players, but having a good live player think you have both bluffs and value hands in spots is good. I concur.
Hey, you actually get some people in the chat room who want you to come over. Jake will do that. It's a service we offer here at Stones Live. Just send your picture in. What's the email address?
JFK Stones TD
Damn it.
at
He got me.
StonesGamblingHall.com.
He got me.
So it looks like we are in for another round of straddles.
Nice. So I hope it is a round of straddles. I hope it's not just Brian's the only one doing it.
Hey, if you're not getting good hands, force it. Pretend to have better cards. We're never card dead when we're in position. We have position. And there's good boards and there's great turn cards. And we can pretend to have the world.
Sac01 Kings fan, welcome to the chat room. Yes, I know, coritis sounds like a medical condition. Believe it or not, I heard that joke the first time when I was 4. They're thinking of arthritis. Coritis, arthritis. Just all the kids were
I don't think they're thinking much about anything.
Coritis, arthritis, coritis, arthritis. That's exactly how they sounded. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
Peter makes it 90 to go. We can't see what he's got. Eric flats 90 on the button with 9s. Brian's going to defend the straddle with a king 10. Oh, Peter's got ace king.
Oh yeah, ace king's okay, but no connection.
Harlan defended jack 5.
Eric in the lead. I love these hands. These are my favorite type of hands where you see like Eric's in the lead with pocket 9s, but technically Brian has a higher percentage to win because of his spade draw and 2 overs. And Brian's going to take advantage of that. 2-2-AL, the reason you didn't get a welcome is because your name is too damn hard to say. Log out, make an easier name, we'll welcome you. Welcome to the chat room anyways. You seem like a cool guy. Sanzu's in there too. What's up, guys? We appreciate you guys in the chat room joining us. The day before Thanksgiving, everyone resting up, trying to empty their stomachs for the giant feast tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My mom makes homemade Kahlua and Bailey's, so I plan on gorging on that. Sounds good, right?
Delicioso.
The Bailey's is bomb. She makes caramel Bailey's.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to take an Uber home from the mountains tomorrow. It'll be like a $200 Uber.
So Deuce of Diamonds comes off on the turn. Eric's still value betting. I feel Brian's gonna have spades. Brian can have an 8. And the deuce coming off is a great card for Eric because now if Brian did have an 8, he can't hit his kicker and make a better 2-pair hand. Unless it was an over like a 10, jack, something like that. But he had 8, 7, 8, 6, a hand like that.
I love that Ben in seat 9 in between hands. He's actually playing looks like an online poker game. He's clicking away on his phone there. He just can't get enough poker. He's got live poker. He's got online poker. He's just not going to rest.
It's high stakes tic-tac-toe. He's got problems.
I can see his phone.
What is Brian in the tank here about?
Angry Pollock says that she'll drive me home if I
There's
give her some of the Bally's.
Wow, and it's a huge check raise from Brian.
Holy moly! That's going to be enough to wrap it up. Brian's taking it down.
Wow.
ADHD, thank you for the shout out. He just checked it out online, looked us up, and he says he wishes he lived in Cali now. And trust me, you're 100% correct. People are always shocked when they hear about this room or whatever. They see it from the outside, and then they walk in and they see how beautiful it is. It kind of blows people's mind that we're here in Citrus Heights and we have this great facility. If you look right underneath us, right down there, look down there, see? Right there. I'm pointing at it in the box right there. And that little ticker, it changes the ads, and a couple of them are pictures of the room, so you can get some views there. Or check out our website, stonesgamblingHall.com. You thought I was going to do something stupid, huh?
I did.
Yeah, I could tell.
What?
Jake's got judgy eyes tonight. Every look has been judgment. See? Judge. He's judging right now. We'll be a judgy person.
Yeah, I'm so a little surprised that Eric folded the 9s there. It's hard for Brian to have the deuce. I mean, he can. I mean, check on deuces on it. See, the thing about it is, though, when you go back to follow the pre-flop action, Eric was not the original aggressor, so it's harder for him now to just be like barreling like ace, king, king, queen, those kind of hands there. And I don't think the deuce isn't a great card to barrel, so I don't think he would be barreling the turn. He wasn't the original aggressor. It was an 8-high board that got checked to him. He had called the open, and then so he should mostly have value hands there. So when you check raises, I think, or when you bet to flop, I think it should be less likely that Brian's check calling with a deuce. Peter's got kings, by the way.
Yeah, this is the type of action that happens at Stones. You wake up with kings, you bet 90 pre-flop,
and Jake's still talking about the previous hand.
and get called.
This is what happens at Stones.
And you get called by 9-5. And Peter's going to go put a bet out here. Now, can Brian call out of position to see one more card?
Yeah, no, Brian's got a lot of problems. He can do this. Yeah, Brian.
It looks like he's stacking up some chips for a call, so we might see something out here. A diamond, a 9, a 5 would be helpful. He gets none of those. That does give him an inside
Says
straight draw, though. In my opinion, maybe not enough to keep going, but it is Brian.
Correct.
Yeah. Check and check. He gets a free river card. Let's see what we get. No help.
Don't
And,
let Peter checking back there.
Peter still has the best hand. And it's going to be pretty difficult for Brian to bluff him off, because I think Brian pretty much has to give up the ghost at this point.
This should be an easy check for Brian. The only debate between whether or not you're check calling or check folding. Now, Peter did check back the turn. We would expect him to be value betting his overpairs in the turn. As it is, he did check back. This might induce Brian to call, and it does.
Wow.
He thought the line didn't make sense. It didn't make a lot of sense. I don't hate the call.
But that's kind of the point, right? To make it look like it doesn't make sense to get paid.
Yes.
Peter knows that Brian's an intuitive player, and he's paying attention to this. Do you think that was a deliberate setup, or do you think he just kind of walked into an opportunity?
I think he just oopsied all over the place.
Cool.
He just was like, oh, I accidentally played this right and got value.
Awesome. It worked out the same. It worked out the same either way.
Results oriented.
I would like to think that that Peter set that entire thing up. Maybe the check on the turn. Maybe the check on the turn was to induce that call on the river.
JKH likes the line for Peter. I don't know. There's so many draws and one pair straight draws you can get value from. I like betting the turn. Well, you can get a lot of worse hands to call.
Hey, 2-2 Al, I want to answer his question real quick. I saw it too. I saw what you saw. He did not flip him off. It was he pointed like that. It was the one thing. He thought that the dealer flipped somebody off, but he just pointed.
Yeah, Paul
Guys
can take
saw
shit
it.
from nobody. I mean, Paul can.
Well, he won it, but he didn't flip
Okay,
anybody
he won.
off. I swear, I saw it. If he's gonna flip anybody off around here, it's gonna be me. Okay?
Yeah, Paul controlling him playing 2 street poker. I think that's fine. I mean, checking back the turn's not the worst in the world. But I think he can get value from worse hands. I don't hate it. I find a reason to dislike something sometimes. And then you go with it. I was pocket in the commentary. I thought I said I didn't like it. Now I'm gonna go with it. I couldn't fold. I'm not gonna. What am I, Eric? Gonna fold 9s? I can't fold 9s.
I would respond to you, but you're too judgy tonight.
Usually.
Harlan 3-bet with mystery cards. We can only guess what Harlan has right now, but right now it's between Brian and Harlan, and it looks like we're going to a flop heads up. Jack 3. Not knowing what Harlan has, but Brian's gonna check. And the reason we don't know what Harlan has because his cards aren't on there. You see little diamonds in front of the players. They need to put their cards on those diamonds. Maybe Harlan intentionally doesn't want us to know what he has.
Talking to typically don't like it, but it was perfect against that exact hand, maybe not that range. I concur. Harlan.
All right, we finally get to see Harlan's hand. 8-9, and he's gonna bet out 200 with it. And where's Brian going? Nowhere. We see a turn card now, get an 8, and Harlan now connects with the board. That's bad for him.
And we check back. And we check back. Because if we double barrel, I mean, if our opponent is ever peeling with 7s, 6s, hands like that, which I feel he's doing less of, we would lose him if we bet the turn. As it is, Brian's going to lead with the 10s.
That's a good lead. Split screen for the win. See what both players, the anguish they have on their face. These guys are actually pretty controlled though. Harlan, is he bumping it up? No, just a call.
So check call lead from Brian with 10s on Jack 3, turn 8.
Wow.
7.
That gives Brian the check mark, and now it's just a point of how does he want to play this. That's an all-in play from Brian, and gonna be really difficult for Harlan
What
to
the
call.
hell? What is this? This is the. Why is Brian turning 10s into a bluff?
He knows he has the best hand. Look, Harlan's got 1,400 behind. That's a lot to risk, unless he's sitting on a jack. Now, the fact that Harlan took so long even to think about it, you could see Brian's posture and he gets relaxed instantly.
He's never folding a jack. If he's got busted clubs, he's folding. Poker, my brain's broken. I mean, there's one thing that, I mean, Brian, there's one thing Brian might be doing there, which is sick, and he is that sick. But yeah, like Jake would require unrealistic to know that where Harlan's at there, and that Harlan can hear all off. Sizing reads, like that over familiarity with the player, where you know exactly where he's at.
And that was exactly the point that I was going to make. Sometimes these plays don't make sense to a true poker genius like yourself.
No. Yeah, when you just look at the hand in a vacuum and it's like here's the action, here's the stacks, here's the bet size.
These players know each other.
And then poker's broken. Yeah, when you put the added element or the variable,
it makes a big difference. I mean, pretty much everyone at this table knows each other. The only newcomer to this group is Seat 9. Yeah.
And even then, we don't know. I mean, like I said, if Ben's friends with Zach from Sac, and we know who plays in all these games with all these guys as well. I mean, who knows what kind of other trashy home games these guys have played with each other. So Ben might be somewhat familiar with these guys as well.
K1, welcome to the chat room. Yes, we agree. Every home game needs a Harlan so that he can come take all your chips. That's why everyone's like, I want Harlan, I want to play with Harlan, and then Harlan sits down and just crushes their soul. It's a beautiful thing. All right, Ace Jack versus Ace Jack. TD and Harlan, two aggressive players, neither connecting with the board, and we get check, check, check again. Harlan doesn't want to take a stab at it. And it's going to check through, it looks like, and we're going to chop it up. Ace Jack, Ace Jack.
There's no net hand. Legal one from Mark to break down. It's good hand for him to break down because the hand was broken. Puck 66, no back straddling, button straddling. Mostly because Justin hates me.
You know what? Button straddling kills action.
Where's something that's precious to you that I can throw?
Judgy look right there.
I need to
it's
think
just
something
pure
that
judgment. It's not fun being around you when you're being judgy.
How does it kill action?
I don't know the scientific explanation, but I've been running poker games for 10 years now, and every time you allow a button straddle, it just seems to just fold around. Because the action starts on the small blind.
So, yeah, exactly.
So the blinds don't seem to want to stay in the action a lot.
Which is kind of really strange because then you would put, there's more money in the pot when it gets on the other players. You're also having players voluntarily put money in position, or put money in the pot in position versus out of position. Also, so one, it shouldn't create action. But on the other, so you say that it kills action. Sorry, I mean, there's a hand in progress, but if it gets weird, we'll get back to it. So, but like, in theory then for the house, and I'm not advocating, raking games, but that's a part of, how poker survives, how poker lives. If it kills action, games would go longer, players don't get stacked, the rake keeps going, the lights stay on. It'd be better for the house.
That's good for the house, but...
there's also what's good for the players.
Okay,
it means they're good, the players aren't going to play, I guess.
Yes, I understand where you're coming from. You're trying to see it from my perspective because I work for the house. But on the flip side of that, I think one thing that has made my career successful in this industry is that I've actually looked out for the players and what's better for the game and for the players.
It's a pretty good card room. It's a pretty good card room.
And so it draws more people in because they're not going to get these super nitty games, they get games with good action, uncapped games, and things like that. And I don't know.
Developing here. Sorry, Brian. Brian at 130 with his king high flush draw. Matt is in a call with 2 overs and an inside straight draw, backdoor diamonds that are no good. 8 comes off, and that board is getting awfully coordinated, awfully quick. Brian now has an inside straight draw as well. You make a straight with a 9. And he's still firing. So here's the thing about Matt here. I'm trying to see what the bet is. 240. I don't think he can call here. I don't think we can. However, if he is going to call here, he wants Brian to be super strong here so that in case that king does peel off, if Brian is going to have a 2+ pair type hand, that will pay him.
Oh, there's the diamond on the river. Now Matt hits an ace there, but Brian has the diamond. I think Matt sniffs it out. I think Matt realizes he's playing against the diamond draw the entire time. I mean, he's happy to see the ace, but not that it's the diamond. How does Brian now extract the most value from here? There's $1,000 in the pot. It's going to be a small bet. Looks like about 335. Is that right? 340. Yes, JKH, Matt is a very good poker player. And Matt has to sniff this out. I don't think Matt makes a call here. He sees this betting for value. He sees the way Brian's played this hand. It looks like a flush draw the entire way. I just want to point out as a side note, the chat room agrees with me that the button straddle kills action.
I love learning. I mean, I did not think that. Mind you, maybe it's because the game's I'm getting kind of weird. And
well, I mean, if you have an action table, it doesn't matter what you do. It's going to be an action table.
That's true. Yeah.
You know,
So,
but yeah, when
good to
you're
know.
forcing the blinds to act first, in
kills
my
action.
experience, it does kill the action on the table.
good to know.
We won ADHD over. He just followed us. Thank you. We're going to plant a tree in your name.
Matt's okay. He can only bet diamonds here. He can bet the king queen. The thing is, Matt's got the queen of diamonds in his hand. Blocking combo draw.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that's probably pushing
Exactly,
him towards
'cause
a
he has the queen of
potential call.
diamonds.
Matt makes a correct laydown, and what a good laydown by Matt. Very good job. Now Brian's not going to show here. Somebody was asking in the chat room if the players can hear us, and the answer is not right away. I mean, if they were listening, if they had headphones on, then they could. The game is 25 minutes behind. We're 100% live. So they could go back later. We archive all of our shows. They can listen to all the commentary. But typically, if they're trying to listen to us while they're playing, they're listening to what we're saying about what they did 25 minutes ago.
Correct.
Yeah.
It is a good fold. He did it. Matt having the queen of diamonds in his hand complicates his river, contemplation check all check fold.
22L wants to know if I'm really going to plant a tree, guys. California just passed a bunch of new laws. There's going to be a lot of trees being planted, I promise. All right, new dealer, new cards, new action, new luck. Here we go. Getting a new handout.
Harlan adds on because poker is alive and well. Matt H. King Jack offer in early position is a fold. The straddle is on. Harlan gets right back to work. He makes it 65 to go with pocket threes. Brian makes a call, Jack 9 off. TD. He says yes. He's called the 9-7. Eric will fold for $45 more with the straight blocking suitors. Ace 10-4, a couple of clubs. Harlan says the only pair here was threes. Checks through, 9-ball, good for Brian. Hits TD as well. He's worse. He's in the lead for 80, it looks like.
Wow.
Harlan gets out of the way. This should be a pretty easy call for Brian. 85. Wow, Brian folds.
So they don't want to tangle too much with TD right now, it looks like.
That's gotta be the one that thought that Brian's feeling is that TD's gonna double barrel.
You know,
And he just doesn't want to call there.
it seems like Brian has been really savvy about picking his spots tonight.
Sure.
Judgment.
Oh, no, I'm just trying to
Judgy eyes.
remember hands.
Oh, so that wasn't judgment?
No, contemplation.
Okay. It looks the same. Maybe it's the beard that hides it.
Yeah. Angry Polak. Speaking of problems. Do believe the straddle is on. Harlan under the gun +1, effectively under the gun for this hand. He makes it 60 to go with pocket 10s. Second hand in a row he's raised here.
No one really has too much to work with in this hand.
Kathy makes a call on the button with a 6 deuce.
Interesting call from Kathy.
Ambitious.
And she hits her 6, but still not in great shape. However, with the 2 overs, had she been willing to play aggressive here, she probably could do something with it. Check, check. And ace. Everyone a little scared.
If we ever get enough fold 7s plus, it's good. Thank you, Kathy.
Is that 45? Looks like 45 to go from Kathy. And we're saying bye-bye to Harlan. Nice job,
Shows
Kathy.
10s. Kathy shows a 6
Wow, she shows
love
it.
it.
Oh my God.
Oh, and if Harlan wasn't ready to set some money on fire before. Harlan loves it, though.
We call that advertising. Guys, don't forget, if you're joining us on the stream for the first time, this is Stones Live Poker. We're on Twitch. There's a little heart icon on your screen. If you click that heart, you can follow us, become a part of our family, and we'll let you know when we go live. Usually it's Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time, but we also do some final tables for tournaments, and those are kind of just whenever they happen. So you need to be following us to know. We'll definitely alert you when those are going down. Right now tonight, 5-10, no limit hold'em. You can get in the game, type ! join into the chat room for all the information that you need.
Just start the syllogism. Do the streaming games play bigger than the side games that aren't streaming? Not necessarily. I mean, the 1-3, we've talked about it many times, it plays pretty big here. Same thing with the 2-5, 5-5 games, 5-10s. The games all play pretty big here. I mean, a lot of the reputation that Stones has versus a lot of other local card rooms is that the stakes that you're playing are kind of relatively like up a notch. So the 1-2 plays like a 1-3, the 1-3 plays like a 2-5, the 2-5 plays like a 5-10. I mean, mind you, you're going to find at the same time, don't be scared to run off, from that, because you're going to find a 1-3 that's playing 100 bigs. At the same time, they're going to find the 1-3 like the VAF game that's just off the chain.
Yeah.
Depending on, you'll find a game.
I think it's important to state that the Veronica and Friends
That's
game
a whole
is
other animal.
not representative of the normal 1-3. Don't get me wrong, they're good. Our normal 1-3 games here are good, but the Veronica and Friends game is on
Got an extra amount of
steroids.
problems.
Yeah.
So here we go. Got a nice hand developing. So it's Harlan, I believe, in the straddle. Brian open and Peter put in a very large 3-bet. Harlan makes a call. Brian open in early position. Peter puts in a huge 3-bet to 290. Harlan flats ace king and queen 8 deuce. How much did Brian open for? I missed it.
Pre-flop action says, we don't see Brian's action up there. See Peter and Harlan only.
Harlan checks over to Peter, and I don't hate check folding here. I know he's got the best hand, but Peter has a reputation of being much more of a snug player. He 3-bet players raised out of early position. He should be very strong here. I don't mind the fold from Harlan.
So next Sunday
Talk to me.
is the Stones last Sunday, this coming Sunday, 4 days from
350
now.
buy-in, 40K guarantee.
Yeah.
Barrels.
Hard to go wrong. 15,000 starting chips with 40-minute levels. We
Great
live stream
structure.
the final table this Sunday night. Usually happens somewhere around 8 or 9 o'clock. So the final 9 players, you can tune in right here and watch them play for the money.
And you can hear me tell a story of how I bubbled.
Yeah.
Because that's,
Are you going to be here?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
Can you be? I don't think I have anyone.
Oh, for commentary. I was talking about playing the tournament. No.
We'll play the tournament, and then when you bust out, come do commentary.
That's every player in streaming like that. Let me literally come tell you a bad beat story.
Oh, it looks like we have. Our ghost commentator returns. Michael Longcar will be here in the booth.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great tournament player.
Yes.
Yes. Get Longcar back in town. He's wonderful. Where's he? He was in DC for a while.
been all
He was
over the
in
place,
Philly.
yeah.
The life of a grinder.
It's tough.
Hard. Yeah,
Traveling all over the
waking up
world.
at
Yeah.
2.
It's very difficult. Going to lavish parties on yachts.
What a good game. So I can't see if the straddle's on. No straddle. TD's gonna open up the pot. No, it is straddle. So check that. Straddle to 20. TD makes it 55 to go.
With Jack 10.
Harlan, Brian make the call. Ben can't do it with the 8-4. 3-way to the flop.
All clubs. Harlan hits an ace. TD with the only club. Brian probably going to be getting out of there the moment someone puts some chips in the pot. Well, TD in great shape now.
He now hits his 10 and hits to go along with his club draw.
Harlan's still out in the lead though with a rag ace. Harlan checks. Or did he check? Yeah, checked around. We got an 8 and Harlan is now best. Harlan finally going to put a bet out there about 125.
I like check calling there. Against an aggressive player like TD, I like check calling. Flying Zebra 99, welcome to the game, welcome to the chat.
Guys, this is Stone's Live Poker. We're coming to you from Citrus Heights, California at Stone's Gambling Hall Card Room.
Just outside Sacramento.
Just outside of Sacramento, our state's beautiful capital city. We're here streaming live poker action every Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10. Special final tables like this one coming up this Sunday. So make sure you click the heart button, follow us so we can let you know when we're going live. Looks like we got a couple action hands brewing here. Ace Queen and Ace Queen. And Harlan with suited Queen Jack most likely be in the mix too. Eric in seat 5 has not been getting a lot of playable cards.
That's where we pretend to have better cards.
Yeah.
So the straddle is on. Kathy opens up to 60 under the gun +1. TD makes it 120 to go immediately behind her.
Wow, both with Ace Queen.
Harlan, you have position, brother. Harlan's gonna cold call. He's got position. He's got a hand that should flop a decent amount of equity on a large number of boards.
We Camp, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel for Twitch Prime. We appreciate you. And Angry Pollock is right. We're going to plant another tree for him. All right, the 3 hands I predicted are in here, and the flop, of course, misses everybody. So now it's just a matter of who gets the most aggressive to take this pot down. My bet's on TD.
He was the original aggressor. He 3-bet.
There it is. Sticks a bet in. Now, Harlan and Kathy both can call, but Harlan's doing his fold posturing. Kathy doesn't waste any time. That's an easy pot for TD. He's going to take it down.
We can print money. Yeah, that board is definitely going to miss Kathy's range to open, early the gun, or open under the gun effectively. It might hit Harlan this time. So
These guys switching seats?
Eric and Harlan are switching seats.
Interesting.
And happy birthday, Matt Holtzclaw. Hide your smile, Matt. Hide the smile.
I don't think he can.
Act normal, act normal, act normal.
Did we lose Sasha in seat 4?
Sasha gets lost easily. Okay, he wears a hoodie and kind of covers his eyes. The lights are kind of bright in here relative to his, extracurricular activities.
Maybe he realized that he was on TV.
He might have. He was afraid of that little piece of his soul being stolen, and so he exited the scene left. Also, as a poker player, you have no, relative appreciation of time, so he doesn't wear a watch. He doesn't know how long he's been gone. I don't know. A lot of reasons why Sasha disappears in the middle of the night sometimes. You could have found a lady friend.
Oh, he's got chips still there, so we expect to see him back.
He might have.
Couple $1,000 on the table will anchor you.
He might have short-term memory loss. I mean, he might have forgot about those chips.
Maybe we should go get him.
Yeah, he's kind of frowned upon. Bamboozled. Do we know the poker player Fast Eddie? There's a lot of Fast Eddies. I think every poker room has a Fast Eddie. Am I wrong there?
No, I think you're right.
I think, or like
We
2
also
or 10.
we have a River Eddy as well.
We have a River Eddie. Got a Fast
Yeah.
Eddie. There's Eddie Vedders. I mean, there's all sorts of poker players in this room.
N9Man, welcome to the chat room. Hey, we do allow the phones on the poker table during our live stream, and they are allowed to watch the stream. It is on a 25-minute delay, so they are seeing what happened 25 minutes ago, just like us. We're seeing the stream with you guys for the first time. We're totally live. We're live and doing well, I promise.
I'm dead inside, so don't worry about
Dead
it.
inside is different though. Your heart's beating. Your heart's beating.
Yeah. So Ben, talking about going card dead, now he probably picks up aces. The one problem he might have a checking value here, as you pointed out, is he hasn't been playing a lot of hands. Harlan, though, that's his Huckleberry.
Wow.
And Ben flops top set. Harlan's got an inside straight draw. Jack, turn, Queen, River. Let's get it done. Come on. Get the money in the pot.
Now Harlan wants to see a turn card, see if he can hit this straight draw, and that is no help to him. Ace is still way out front. Harlan looking for one of 4 remaining jacks. And not gonna get there. And as you can see up on the top when it's displaying the outs for this hand, you see all 4 jacks there. Those are true outs. We have a sensor that monitors the muck cards as well. Any cards that are in the stub that can be picked up will count those cards away from the potential outs. So when you see 4 jacks, to our knowledge, we have 4 jacks available, but none of them come.
Harlan makes it 175 to go here.
Wow, I'm kind of shocked that Harlan bets here.
I like a small, almost like a click back from Ben. Let Harlan, in case Harlan should have busted straight, busted spade, or busted diamonds. He has a hand like that. You might just get him to spaz. I would like a very small raise here. And that's exactly what Ben does. And Harlan kind of beats him in the pot with
Yeah. I think Harlan was just taking one little stab at it, and he knew that if anything happened, he wasn't going to come back. Now see,
the pot. We walked on Kurt's staff to be dead inside.
I know, I saw that.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Now see, here's the difference between Harlan and the other players at the table. When they order, it's salad. Harlan, burger.
Burger.
And
Sliders, burgers.
that's what makes a good poker player right there. You order a burger, you're gonna play good poker.
I believe the straddle is still on. Brian now going to open up the pot. Looks like the 55. I'm sorry, 60. King 7 of diamonds. TD at the small blind is going to make the call. He's going to flat jacks here. Harlan's going to call as well, Queen Jack suited. 3-way action, and TD's hand is very under-repped here. Ace 8-3, and I'm curious to see how TD's going to play the under-repped jacks in this pot. It checks all the way over to Brian, who was the original aggressor, and he's going to put in a C-bet. There's 200 in the pot. How much did he bet here? Like 125? Somewhere in that window? 85, really small.
TD letting the best hand go. That ace on the board is a scare card for him. Brian correctly bets with the worst hand and takes it down.
I don't know. I like 3-betting. I like check calling versus Brian. Brian plays a lot of cards, and he doesn't just have ace-x there. We still beat a lot of hands. I prefer 3-betting, and then I don't mind check calling.
Puck says, Justin, you should try the button straddle in the Veronica and Friends game. And to that I say, Puck, you shouldn't have spit on that girl in the real world. It was not nice.
Gonna find something that you love, and I'm going to hunt it. Brian makes it 55 to go. Jack
Just tell you right now what I love. Veronica.
Oh, I would love to punt Veronica. Brian makes it 55 to go with a jack 9 off. Kathy makes a call with a suited ace. Eric and Harlan are mixed up in the action as well. King, king, 5, 2 clubs. Eric's got a club draw. No one has a king. No one has a pair.
That seems to be the theme for the night. Wow. 3 kings on the board and no one with much to go with. Kathy in the best shape here with ace high. Eric does have a club draw, but kind of a gross club draw. 10 comes out and that actually hits Eric with the full house. Kings full for Eric.
Yeah, punting and hugging are synonyms. Angry Polak, so yeah.
I love cinnamon.
So JKH makes a good point about when you're that deep, you don't want to be inflating the pot with jacks out of position. Or you can just start, building, a bigger pot with a player who plays a wide range. I don't know. Poker, life, reasons.
Jesus. Come on, guys.
Wonderful, that's the best.
You guys need to control yourself in the chat
Really don't
room.
let him run wild. Let him run amok. At least something's running amok
Oh
here.
my god.
We should just live stream the chat. I mean, we are, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you again for everyone that's joined us here. This is Stone's Live Poker. We're streaming live poker action on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time. Special events and tournaments like this coming Sunday's 40K final table. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, everyone. We appreciate you spending your pre-Thanksgiving night here with us. We have about 45 minutes left in this game, and it's been fun. It's been fun so far.
here we are now. Entertain us.
One Arm Louie, welcome to the chat room. He says a mural of all the players should be behind the poker painted on the wall.
It's the worst.
All right, heads up. Here's your flop.
7-5, rainbow.
Missing everybody, the theme of the night. No one can connect with the flop, and so we're really having to rely on people playing poker tonight.
JKH 15, yes, that is a slightly higher variant play. Absolutely. Therio the Beast. This is his first time here. Really nice ambiance. I concur.
Steve Makowski, welcome to the chat room. Hey, we do a lot of old school references here. Nirvana is just one of the tricks we have in our
We already
arsenal.
talked about I was karaoke Pearl Jam, the other night.
He sang alive.
Yeah.
And then
I wear flannel shirts. I mean,
it's like he's still living in the 90s.
and I like this
the
one.
90s were cool, though.
the spirit of the 90s is alive.
I miss the
Well,
90s.
Portland. I'm here, Sacramento, Stones. I miss the 90s too.
90s were cool.
Let's not do that thing where we start being like this old people reminiscing about back in my day. Let's not do that.
Do you remember when music was good?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Speaking of music being good, I heard Kanye had a concert in Sacramento just recently.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Now it's just a bunch of whiny little bees. It used to be like they would get drunk and pass out on the stage. Now they have mental disorders.
Or they'd shoot each other and drive.
Jesus.
They were real gangsters back then.
Gangsta.
Queens, 8s, and the 9 deuce.
The old 9 deuce.
Standard.
Standard.
So Eric just limps along the 8s here out of the small blind. Not the worst play. Ben makes it 130 to go out of the straddle. Eric calls the 8s. Brian.
Brian smiles and gets away from it.
This is 9 deuce standard. Heads up.
And another safe flop for the big pair. Ben with his queens way out in front.
Music used to be good when ugly people were making it, right? So you guys should have heard me barrel off some alive the other night. It was. You're welcome.
Can you give us a little sneak peek right now?
No.
Did you do the little Eddie Vedder, the little sounds he makes? The woo, 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 those little sounds?
How'd that go?
Woo, woo.
Eric bets 160. Ben makes a call. Disco.
Oh, there it is. Locked and loaded. Eric's
And
betting
bets
out.
300. Jesus, why? Sometimes you have to set money on fire. I get it. I feel it. Every now and then, I got $300 too much in my life right now, and F it.
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks. What is Eric trying to get called by here?
Babyface ATL wants to know whatever happened to Engelbert Humperdinck. Remember him? I don't.
Yeah, I'm drawing really thin there. So top full here for Ben. We know he's raising. The way this hand played out, he's really hoping that Eric has a 10. Once again,
He's announced a bet to the dealer. We're gonna see what it is here.
I would prefer to bomb here.
Oh, he made it big. It looks like maybe 840. Another 500 on top, possibly. 840 is the bet. So 540 more to call, and Eric is a poker genius, so I feel like he's gonna figure this out pretty quick. He is grabbing chips, though.
I feel like his brain is broken and he's going to call.
He's in Harlan's seat.
It's science. I'd be surprised. I mean, I think
He set it on fire.
Wow.
All right. There it is. He's going to see the bad news. Queen's full, and not only Queen's full, but Ben was in the lead the entire way.
I mean, I've had $800 too much in my life before, and I needed a torch. I mean,
Wow.
so I mean, the race to 800 works there.
Yeah,
for
walk me
Ben.
through this, because I don't get it, especially for Eric.
I would almost think he'd almost have a better chance of getting paid off if he kind of bombed the river there and kind of made it, like, maybe keep some bluffs in your range. I think once his lead 300, the way the hand played out, he leads 300 river, then he leads turn, Eric leads turn, then he leads 300 river, and then that smallish, well, not a small raise, it's an $800 raise, but I mean, or raise to 800, but like, I mean, it's a little bit more than a click back. I just don't feel like Ben has very many bluffs there with that sizing. And so if I'm trying to get called when you have the board completely crushed, I mean, if your opponent has a 10, he's calling, right? So we don't got to worry about
Are
that.
you saying that if he shoves all in there, he has a higher chance of getting...
I don't think there's any to shove. I mean, how deep were they? But I would think maybe raise a little bit larger, and maybe it might look
And still you
a
think it gets
little
big?
bluff here.
Okay.
Maybe look like some busted hearts. Maybe.
See that?
I just don't think the best sizing he's ever bluffing, which is why I'm surprised that Eric called. I mean, once I saw Eric's body language, I knew he was calling, but like, I would think it'd be an easier fold the way that hand played out if with that size.
Yeah.
That raise.
Well, we got some 3 deuces in this hand, so we're probably gonna see some action. We love you, chat room.
Yes, so there's something to be said that at this level, yes, the money amount does matter. Once again, that goes back to, online play versus live play, trying to get, bluffs in your range, and with your sizing, maybe.
Sly Christ says it's barely a call. He says if he goes any bigger, he doesn't get any action on that hand.
It's true. $500 is an easier call than 15, yes. If you think your opponent can hero, by all means, let your opponent, give your opponent a chance to make a mistake.
Well, we got hearts versus clubs, and the clubs are out. Hearts for backdoor, and Sasha with clubs and a pair. Sasha in really good shape on this hand.
Paranoid agent, he's bluffing on, bro.
All right, Sasha putting out about 125. We'll see if TD wants to see one more card here.
Check it. He says, yeah, it depends on the player you're racing. Very much so. And like I said, probably against Eric, you're probably right. Probably that the smaller raise, the 800, probably was the right size raise there against Eric. Against another player, like I said, who's a little bit more hero-y, someone who wants to put the cape on and just really go for it, then yeah, bombing's probably better. But against Eric, that probably
Wow,
was the right size there.
TD bumps it up. 300, maybe 80, 380 it looks like. Hard to see the colors from here.
Sasha puts 125, top pair, club draw.
Wow.
Sasha got to Sasha's got 2,600 back. I don't think he wants to get all that in right now, but he doesn't fold. TD's never folding a set. But that's the only hands that we're not way out in front of right now. Against everything else, we have so much equity. I think we can come right back at TD right now and raise again. And with plan on getting it in on the turn.
Sasha's really thinking this through.
He's just gonna call.
Okay. I think that's the right line here. See what comes out on the turn. Let TD lead. Okay, now TD picks up inside straight draw. He's got a little something more to work with. But Sasha still with a huge lead here. Top pair and clubs. Now, if TD were to check here, it's completely over. He shows his weakness. So TD kind of has to bet if he wants to keep this going. If he checks, he's done with the hand.
There's a hand. He checked. There's check, check. King ball.
Wow. Oh my God. All the power that Sasha has there. He needed to bet that turn. Sasha bets the turn, that's it, right?
No, like checking
No?
back. Checking back's fine. If you're not re-raising the flop, then checking back. If you're just flatting the flop, then you should be checking back the turn. And TD's just sick enough to value bet this.
Oh my God. How much is it? 300, 400, 450? 355.
Here's
That
the weird.
is so gross. What a river.
Sasha makes a call.
Yeah.
TD thinks he got caught.
That's poker.
That's a beautiful hand. So here's what Sasha's thinking, and this will come full circle.
Okay.
What is TD check raising, and that he's not also leading this? Because usually when people players check raise, okay, you're checking over someone, then you're surprised I got a real hand, and then even if there's somebody bluffing or bluffing, they're going to continue the story up on the turn, right? Because no one outside of limit poker double check raises, with the exception of TD. So I don't know if you recall, there was I believe it was another 5-10 game. It might have been the 10 1/4. I don't recall exactly which game it was, but it was one of the bigger games. And in a hand between TD and Matt Holtzclaw, who you see here in C7, TD double check raised Matt.
And he was behind.
And he was
both
behind.
times. Yeah.
Yes. So he check raised Matt. Matt made the correct call, top pair, execute, ace, so the ace, queen, ace, jack. Turn comes, TD does not elect to lead the turn. He checks over to Matt. Matt goes for a value, what I thought was a very good value bet. And TD double check raise. Came back for another check raise on the turn. Very unique line, something you don't see in no limit hold'em that often. Sasha might be aware of that. That TD is one of the few, guys, poker players around, especially locally in these levels, that is capable of double check raising. So checking back there, once you're not barreling off on the flop, I think it's pretty standard anyhow, but uniquely TD can still have some value hands in his range there because he's the one sick bastard that can double check raise.
That was a crazy hand, so.
TD does get the advantage of being a sicko, absolutely. But yeah, I think re-raising TD's fine on the flop. But if you're flatting, then checking back the turn is standard. But the way the hand played out, because even though it is TD, and most players don't double check raise, the call from Sasha isn't terrible.
No.
TD's
TD's a chip leader here now, almost 5,000 in front of him.
Chip leader.
Judgy eyes. Judgy eyes. He is the chip leader on the table. The dominating stack. What do you say, Mr. Judgy?
It's a big stack.
It's the big stack. Better?
Yes.
Still have judgment in your eyes.
Yes. He's got everyone covered. He raises 60 from
Won
Harlan
those
with Queen
chips.
10. Ace 8 makes a call out of the straddle. Queen 7 deuce, all spades. Harlan's got top pair. TD's got the nut draw. Chips. Harlan bets 100. It is a 5K max to start, but when it's table stakes after that.
And TD is on fire!
Pure as Colombian cocaine.
Wow, he's got the nut spade draw and he hits his ace. Harlan in bad shape now, he doesn't even know it yet.
We check back, Harlan. We check back, and we can get value from one spade hands. We can't get, obviously, the nuts spade got us. We check back, Harlan.
He's not going to check back. That's not in his vocabulary.
I like checking back, maybe trying to induce bluffs. Also, no. There's another reason, just no.
Oh, TD has to see Harlan's stack. And Harlan's sitting there on what looks like about maybe 1,500, close to 1,500 behind.
Phil Hemmings says versus TD, would never check back here.
Is that just a call? Yeah, I think we got just a call. Here comes your river.
Especially check back versus TD. TD's capable of just firing out a dry river bluff if you show any kind of weakness on each street.
TD checks it.
As he should. I think Harlan's going to check back.
Harlan is stacking up chips.
Lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Oh my God, it looks like about 400 coming out. 375. And TD he's smiling now. He's like, he doesn't know quite what's going on. You got to remember, TD's not a maniac. Like, he has crazy moves, but he knows how to play poker too. I mean, he's not just in here splashing chips around. Are you playing this game tonight? Are you getting on the list? You know, you can put your name up with the Stones app. You can do it right here from the booth.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Harlan should have 2 pair plus to be able to value bet this river. But that would only have to, that also makes sense. And we don't do that.
Just a call. Just a call.
TD calls 375. Ship it. Someone in the comment, I think it was Phil Hellman said TD, that you would never check back versus TD. I would especially, it is thin value, yes, but I would especially check back the turn against TD because TD is capable of getting creative and firing out a dry river bluff with a busted spade. Mind you, Harlan was the original aggressor. You could see heads up, you can see that his entire range, especially on Queen XX, you know, all spades, because it's hard for your opponent to continue without a queen or a very big spade in his hand, in their hand. That said, I mean, so if that's the case, TD can dry fire river bluff sometimes if he has a busted big spade, and your queen can print money by just calling river. If you can induce bluffs out of your opponent, I think checking back, especially against a capable opponent like TD, is GTO, more GTO, I should say. Yeah, back to JKH15's comment. Super thin value from Harlan. Or sometimes you just have too much money and you need to get rid of it.
I wish I had that problem.
I'm trying to have that problem, and
it's difficult.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard problem to have. Yes, Isabella, that is Don't Stop Believing in the background.
Yeah. We got a live band playing here at Stones tonight. They've been playing some pretty decent music.
I've been digging it.
Yeah, they're not bad.
So Peter makes it 85 to go with the king jack off. Sasha, under the gun, ace-7. He's going to put in the 3-bet. I love it. Makes it 275 to go. He's blocking the very top of Peter's range, the ace. Someone's got to bring a little cash and click buttons. Oh, online poker was so good back in the day. Burning cash and clicking buttons.
You know, I cashed out my balance off of Full Tilt a week before it crashed.
I got lucky. I got very, very fortunate that I went on, kind of fortunate, I guess. I went on Tilt. and had burned off a huge chunk and pulled out almost everything I had on Full Tilt. I love myself I want to say like a grand or like 1,500 in my Full Tilt account. Pulled everything else out to play live, and I just decided to take that money and just fire 3 big satellites into the main and just dusted that off. And then it was then I'm like, okay, I need a break. Screw online poker right now. I'm just gonna grind live. And then when I came back to it, was right. I was getting ready to make a deposit. And it's what the hell? It's blocking. The day I went on there was Black Friday. I went on Black Friday to try to put a deposit back on. Because screw live poker. Let's go back to playing online poker. So then,
Is it Black Friday?
yeah.
That's what I thought was a Monday. I thought Black Friday is when you go shopping. There's 2 Black Fridays?
There's 2 Black Fridays.
Wow, that's dirty. There's a good Black Friday and a bad Black Friday.
It's all bad Black Friday. Screw the traffic and session, yeah.
Well, I like Cyber Monday.
That's Cyber Monday's cool.
Do it all from your home.
Yeah. Winky, we are forced to do nothing, sir. Kick rocks. They recommend not badgering people in the chat, but as you can see, we don't follow those rules either.
You know what they say, rules are for fools. Don't they say that?
Do they?
Rules are for fools. Or maybe that was school. School's for fools.
Yes, Black Friday
I think it was
is
school.
yeah.
No, it's not really. You say it's becoming obsolete, but then you see these videos every year of people like stepping on each other's heads to get like the last toy, you know?
Yeah, it happens.
People camping out. There's already people camped out by the Walmart by my house. For what? $100 off a TV?
Something terrible.
You could bring that $100 here and jump into a 1-2 game, turn it into $500. That's a way better idea.
for welfare.
It's
So here we go.
Wine Wednesdays here.
Kathy makes it 60 to go with a 10-8 off. TD, 3 bets the button, ace deuce. Easy game. Gracie Corn Dog, welcome to the game. Dave G.
Great
welcome,
name, by
welcome.
the way. Love it.
Slack Friday, good point. It's awfully insensitive of us towards people who need $100 off the TV. I'd like to apologize on behalf of Justin Caritis. He won't apologize. He has no regrets in life.
I would apologize. I mean, I wouldn't mean it, but
Stick to your guns.
I'd say it.
Be tough.
No, I mean, I'll say it. I just won't mean it.
Yeah.
I'll look you right in the
I'll
eye.
lie to you.
Yeah.
Lie to me, lie to me, lie to me, lie to me.
Just tell me everything's gonna be okay. 25 minutes left here in tonight's broadcast. We're looking for a big hand here. Stones Live Poker. We're here every Monday and Wednesday, sometimes on Sundays, 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time. Where are you guys watching from? We got like 1,400 people in there. Kind of curious where you guys are coming from. Let us know. What city are you tuning in Stones Live tonight?
If I'm understanding the action here, TD did start the action off, if I'm not mistaken. Yes?
You don't say.
Yes, it was Harlan, Eric, and Brian all came along. TD C-bets for 110 on 10-4-3, 2 spades. Harlan takes Jack 9 and says, I'm not done yet. He flats out of position. Okay, if you're gonna like bluff around his pot, I mean, I don't prefer to raise. If you're Harlan and you're gonna float the Jack 9 out of position and you have to lead like every turn, check, check, poker's broken, I don't know what's going on. A spade comes off, it's the ace of spades. What are you gonna take a step in this pot, Harlan? The ace is better for TD's range than it is for Harlan's, obviously. He thinks he might need to bluff at it. He fires out, Harlan lays it down. I'm not sure what's going on there. Harlan was hoping to turn a straight draw, turn a spade draw, and that didn't happen, and they just went into shutdown. Yeah, very, very out of hand indeed.
So we got people from all over the U.S. Arizona, Dallas, Austin, Texas, San Diego, Boise, Idaho,
Confirmed.
Lodi. Oh, even a Canadian in here.
Hey, that's Veronica.
New York City. It's all Americans tonight, though. Anyone from outside of the U.S.? Other than Canada,
God.
because Canada is kind of the U.S.
Eric and Harlan are switching seats back again.
Come on, you guys.
Matt's gonna come back to a seat and be like, "What did I do to you guys? Like, what did I do so wrong in life to where this is?"
We got Germany and Austria in here. That's pretty awesome. New Hampshire, that's kind of like another country.
Burstleberg's rocking out of Seattle.
Nice. Someone's from Russia, but are you in Russia? KK Storm, are you in Russia?
Mexico City.
Black Panther, Mexico City, Mexico. Very nice. I think you guys are just making this up, but it's cool. It makes us feel good. Thank you. France. I like France.
Is that past Barstow?
It's Rick and Barstow asked if we wanted to guess where he's watching from. Bakersfield?
Uganda.
Nice, guys. Now you're just making things up. I love that Harlan and Eric's have switched seats twice now.
I just want to see Matt's face when he came back. He's like,
Do you think he even notices?
oh, he notices.
Oh, okay.
Matt very much notices what happened here. So it's a $20 straddle. Kathy opens up the pot to 60 with a 9-8 of diamonds. Eric in his old spot. Harlan. I think maybe they're just trying to screw with Matt.
Maybe.
They're trying to play with his emotions. They have huge side action on when he's gonna just like pop and like lose it. Ben will defend the straddle with the ace-5. Heads up. Queen Jack 6, 2 diamonds. Inside straight draw, diamond draw for Kathy. She's gonna c-bet. Should go check bet fold. As it does. Not nice, mice. What's going on, kids? Flex hat.
That Kathy was hunting for diamonds. She didn't even need to get them.
Nerd here is from Tatooine. I love it. Ship it.
Where's that?
Tatooine. Jesus, Justin.
I'm a 90s kid.
If you're a 90s kid, you should know, like,
What's it from?
Star Wars.
Oh, no, I don't watch Star Wars. I've never seen the original ones. I haven't seen any of them. I've seen bits and pieces because they're on, but I don't like old movies. I don't like the grainy. I like high def. I only watch movies in high def.
Yeah, like Transformers was so much better than The Godfather. You're right. What am I kidding?
Judgy eyes. He's got those
Christ.
those judgy eyes. Hey, you know what?
No, I know.
After seeing The Matrix, I don't need to see another movie.
Matrix was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
So I had a friend tell me that The Matrix was better than Star Wars. After that, I was like, I don't need to see Star Wars. You okay?
Not okay. Not okay.
Jake's head has almost exploded like 5 times tonight.
Sasha makes it 50 to go out of the hijack with a 9-7 of hearts, and we love it. Brian with the ace-10 suited in the small blind. He'll make the call. Would not have minded a 3-bet from Brian, but that's fine. 7-7-5. Happy
Wow.
birthday to Sasha.
Nice, Sasha. Bill Berkins wants to know what the odds are of you quitting and relocating after this episode. Probably pretty good.
Oh, pretty good. Winky. I think Winky's trying to get under my skin.
Well, he's right, though.
Check, check. King.
The 8-ball even says you're quitting. Magic 8-ball. All right, we got a king on the turn. Sasha gets the check mark there. There's no coming back from this for Brian, and he's going to get away from it. That's great. What are the odds of Jake quitting? Looks good to me.
8-ball knows what's up.
Yeah,
Just
don't
turn
forget,
it
if you're in
on.
the chat room, you have any questions, just ask the Magic 8-ball. It always has the answer.
Flat blade. All these cool kids in the chat.
You owe Wapri money?
No, Wapri shows up here, tries to super donk off money to me, but ends up like we saw that Harlan check call float the Jack 9.
Yeah.
With no plan on 10-6-4 2 spades.
Okay.
Just like what's your plan? Oh, I'm gonna get there.
So Wapri did that?
Wapri likes to get there. Me, Wapri, poker, he gets
So
there.
he tried to give you money, but you ended up giving him money.
Yes. This happens on a regular basis.
Okay.
This is that's the nature of our relationship.
Well, what'd you learn?
He's a luck box. I don't know. Wabry's the best. I love Wabry. Here we go. Hand back in action here. Harlan picks up pocket eights. It's a raise to 55 from TD. Harlan's gonna 3-bet the eights to 175. Gets Brian's ace 10 out of there. TD says yes. Corn 42, we are at Stone's Gambling Hall in Citrus Heights, California, just outside of Sacramento. We are streaming some 5-10 No Limit Hold'em. And on King 10 Deuce 2 Spades, TD checks. Harlan's gonna check back.
Both of them playing it pretty safe here.
9.
Another overcard on the board. Check and check again. And the river's a 6. 8s stay in the lead the whole time.
Harlan shows you it's. Game is good.
Puck from the real world wants to know if our 1-2 no limit games are table stakes. Let me tell you, they are not, but they still play great. 1-2 is the only game that we cap. It's a 40 to 200 buy-in. All the other games you can buy up to the table maximum. Whoever has the biggest stack. The 1-2 still plays fat though.
No, you can still buy 100 bigs. I mean, that's what we talk about. We've heard Bart Hansen, Crush Life Poker talk about that compared to a lot of SoCal games. When you get to the lower stakes in a lot of areas, it plays small. You can't even buy in 100 bigs. You're playing 40 to 50 bit or 40 60 bigs.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. At least you can buy. I mean, even in the smallest games here, you can still buy 100 bigs, and which is your most common you buy at an online poker. So
Are most places like $100 buy-in in a 1-2, or is it even lower?
A lot of
really?
places. Yeah, a lot of places. So players, for online players that are transitioning over from 100 big blind cap games over to live poker, it's a nice transition because you're very familiar with 100 big blind play. And when the 1-3 and up, everything plays table stakes. So Harlan makes it 65 to go with a Jack 9 of diamonds. Kathy is going to wake up Ace King. They are playing good tunes tonight.
Did somebody force you to say that, Jake?
No one forced me to say that, Justin. No.
The band is so good.
Yeah. Kathy makes it 150 to go out of the blind. King, Queen, Jack, something for everyone. Both players have a pair and an inside straight draw. 10. Can we get a 10 on the turn one time?
One action hand for us. Come on.
Honky boy, no, but if you want to come down and buy me a couple drinks, we can get there.
It's not very nice to accuse someone of being drunk unless you're buying them drinks.
Right?
That's bad etiquette.
Bad form.
Yeah, come on.
Bad form.
You guys should know better. A lot of people traveling tomorrow. Should be a big travel day, right? Everyone going to see family and stuff. Are you going? Where are you going?
If I had a family.
I have a family. You want to go with me? I got room in the trunk.
Yeah!
We'll drink some homemade.
We talked about the homemade
Kahlua and caramel Baileys. Yeah, it's good stuff. Anybody in the chat room, if you guys want to go to my mom's house for Thanksgiving, it's an awesome time. Just chime in, let me know where to pick you up. I'll be there tomorrow. Just keep waiting on your front porch.
I think Nerd Gear's got the point. We should run a campaign on this platform. It would be worth attempting to petition America to bring back online poker for discrimination against those with social anxiety.
Smart.
And that's going to be the platform that we will run on.
SMRT. Alrighty, here's a new hand. Let's talk about some poker. We got poker going on.
The Squealer still does a lot of beers. Great beers.
Yeah, the bar's huge.
It's got a big bar.
Lots of beers, lots of tap. Were you saying beers or beards?
Beards. Not as many beards. I'm the beard.
There's a lot of beards.
Matt H makes it 65 to go. Can't see his cards. Harlan, Brian, Ben, Peter, Sasha. I don't know if anyone folded.
I like Harlan with Deuce 3 suited in there. That's pretty sweet.
I think everyone else likes Harlan, and there were Deuce 3 suited as well. 10, 8, 6, 2 spades. Brian flops top pair. Sasha's got a pair of 8s. Now there's Matt. Matt 2 overs in the nut draw. Bombs. If we go pop, 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 they can never call, right? Or we can just get there. Matt bets 225, and I love it. Brian suspiciously staring down Matt. Wow.
And Brian lets the best hand go.
There's a lot of players behind Brian still. But that's a little bit snug maybe. If we're calling with Queen 10 and we're intending to fold top pair to the original Razor's C-bet, why are we calling Queen 10? Matt says I got away with one. Matt could have showed Brian well, not because except like the queen, but no one wants to run up against 2 overs in a spade draw.
Well, Brian will see soon enough.
Yeah, he'll be okay with it. I think it's, yeah. PNW Switz TV, how was Queen 10 the best hand? Technically, at one of those, if you stop the action, blah, blah, blah. No, Matt's got all the equity in the world with the ace, queen of spades.
I'm talking specifically in
I know. It's,
the ranking of that. I understand.
I think he knows that too.
The draw and the overs, of course, had the most equity in the hand at that point to win.
Well, they both had a queen, so the queen was no good. So I mean, but it's an over.
But having
effectively.
hit the 10,
yeah.
But Brian, he does make a great laydown there. You know, the top pair. It's a great laydown. It's a smart laydown. Are you really going to argue on this? You think it's a bad laydown?
It's it's too snug.
Too snug?
Yes. Like what are you calling Queen 10 for if you're just gonna fold top pair to the C-betters to the original Razor C-bet? I mean, it was a board. I mean, we're not in love with that board, but I mean, we flopped the top pair, and Matt's not like the nittiest nit from Nitville where he's not gonna be C-betting.
Yeah.
And mind you, C-betting into a lot of opponents, so we expect him to have a lot of value there. I mean, that's just a little snug. I don't know.
Matt hasn't been very active in this game either, you know.
Matt 3-bet Queen 8 and Queen 3.
He's picking his spots.
Yeah, picking and choosing. Ebbing and flowing. OMFLs, yes, I do play cash games. Actually, I've decided to quit tournament play.
What?
Oh, I hadn't told you about that.
You said you were playing Sunday.
I don't know about things.
Well,
I also love the band. No.
If you're free, you need to be in here with Long Car.
I should. 6 of diamonds comes off. Might slow down the action. Never mind. Brian is going to merge his range here. He can get value from a diamond. He also might be able to get a queen to fold sometimes. As it is, Matt's not having it. He check calls the king-queen. Checks it back over to Brian. At this point, if Brian's going to keep turning his hand into a bluff here, he's got to bet big. I don't think it's the right move to make.
He just checks, and that means
Check, and
Matt's
that
pot.
means Matt wins money.
You get needled in the chat room.
I love it. Basketball. JKH15, yeah, get used to seeing that. There's a reason why Veronica says I got a poker crush on Matt.
I think Veronica
Picks his
does
spots
too.
well, gets value, makes good folds, plays well. I mean, he's wearing a Miami Dolphins hat, but I'll forgive him. I'll cut him some slack for that. He's also got a beard, so I mean, like, life's good, right?
Damn, 9-iron knows me.
Does 9
Just
irons?
straight up called my entire life out.
Wow.
Brutal.
Didn't take you to Star Wars, but you read
No. What the heck?
Man.
You see the tear?
Soul read.
No.
Soul read.
I did have a BMX ramp, though. No, I did have a BMX ramp. You're wrong. That's one thing I did. It's the only thing I had, but no bike, just the ramp.
You would just run, jump off.
You would run and
flick
jump
your
on
heels.
it. I would pretend like I was on a bike.
Brian makes a 55 to go with a 5 tray off, under the gun +2. Very ambitious. Poker's alive.
Poker's always alive here at Stones. There's a lot of sick action going on at any given time.
Sasha, ace king. He says more. And Brian says, I'm not done feeding the poker community. And so I'm going to call this. If Brian was suited here, I actually wouldn't mind a 4-bet. Well, never mind. Sasha 3-bet out of the blind. I wouldn't 4-bet. King, queen, deuce. Sasha top. Had Sasha 3-bet the button and Brian was suited, I know there are two huge variables. Then I think 4-betting if you're Brian is an option. As it is, you're offsuit. He 3-bet out of the small blind. I think folding is very much more GTO, or just not opening 5-3 under the gun +2. Also another thing to you might think about for reasons. Sasha bets 150 ace king. Top pair, top kicker, backdoor spades. Brian says no. Ryan 00714. Always a pleasure. I can totally envision that, like a little Justin Caritas, like running and jumping off of a BMX ramp and clicking his heels and just like pretending that.
I was never little. I was born this size in a suit.
I love
actually.
it. God, it's impressive.
You don't have to do these little tricks and stuff. When you're in a suit, you just show up and you're like, hey,
I have great suits.
I'm in a suit. Yeah, I like this one. Told this guy to dress up. I said, we're going to do a classy show tonight. He shows up in a sweater.
We're gonna watch.
You dressed up for Val?
That's Val. Val plays
Oh, my ego.
4-card pot limit games. Like, I mean, Val's always gonna have a special place in my heart for that. She can barrel 4-card pot limit, take a nut blocker, and blow off Bart Hansen.
That sounded dirty. Sorry, Val. It's just how it came out.
Yeah. Oops.
Is it?
It's raised to 60. Kathy makes a 60 to go with the king 10 off. TD makes a call with the 8-5er. Alright. Is it a good person that a person have a crush on someone, or if you like that person? I don't know. Like, I think you're on the wrong Twitch stream for those questions. So here we go, Sasha. He makes it 2-10 to go with the queen jack. This game's well out of the muck. I love it. We're opening 5-3. 3-betting the queen jack. And we're getting it through. Sasha took that break, came back.
No more hood. I guess that was the last hand.
Wow,
We're on the big screen. It was just instantaneous.
We're really live.
Yeah, you didn't hear anything in the headphones?
Because the headphones weren't.
Oh, they weren't working. You just had them in for show? That's good. It looks solid.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta look professional. That's why I wear the headphones. You wear the jacket.
Yeah. So
we look professional.
But it's just all about looking, but it's not being professional, it's how you look.
Exactly.
It's how you look that sells it. So, as predicted, the game started off a little slow. It's 5-10. It's a little...
played pretty well. It was a lot of fun. I mean,
in the
players
beginning...
straddles got going. I mean, we got a little bit of cooperation on the deck. We got a lot of cooperation out of Harlan.
Yeah. And a couple switching seats. I mean, but overall, I enjoyed the game. I thought it was a good one.
It was a lot of fun.
5-10. Coming up the next couple of weeks, this Sunday, the last Sunday tournament here at Stones 350 buy-in. Monday is 5-5, and next Wednesday is a 1-3 no limit. I love running the open list 1-3 because then all of our regular players that don't play these giant limit games get an opportunity to be on the stream, and those games get pretty
and they get
deep
really,
action.
yeah, because you get players. I mean, at those levels, I mean, that think. I mean, it's so like the thinking is so diverse.
Yeah.
You know, and players really just can get kind of spazzy.
So they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Those games are a lot of fun. So anyways, if you didn't do it yet, take a moment, click the little heart, follow us. We'd love to have you be a part of our family here at Stones Live.
And if you don't have a family, Stones Gambling Hall is open tomorrow.
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
We never close. We don't even have locks on the doors.
Wonderful, because that's safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. We appreciate you joining us and pretending like you like our show. It's what we live for. I'm Justin Karitis, and
And I'm Jake, and I've got more problems than he does. Good night. Thank you.
you guys take care.
Star Wars.